The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Super Wild Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. This program starts now.
Football
is absolutely wonderful. We wrapped up the wild card weekend that was once titled Super Wild Card Weekend last night as the Los Angeles Rams, as the home team in Phoenix, absolutely beat the hell out of Minnesota Vikings. Congratulations to the Rams. As I was watching that game on a flight back from beautiful San Jose, California last night, you could tell early, talks table at Boston Connor, that Matthew Stafford was going to have a Matthew Stafford-like game. He was locked in, dialed in. First play of the game is an absolute strike. And literally, I'm streaming it, me and Gumpy watching on the plane as we're flying back, and we're like, oh, shit, because we're trying to keep up with the internet a little bit while the game was happening. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, Matt Stafford's having a Matt Stafford night. It's not just Matt Stafford. It's Sean McVay. You start looking at stats now on how many games Sean McVay has won in the playoffs since he's got to the LA Rams, how it's all gone since he's been there, how successful they've been no matter who is on that team. Remember, they're in the middle of a brand new squad. Aaron Darnold, a GOAT, a great of all time, a man who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, a Mount Rushmore player, retires. This is supposed to be a rebuild. Didn't have enough money, remember, because they spent it all. They traded all their assets to go all in to win the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, which they did. But then immediately afterwards, this team's fucked. Mm-hmm. They kick the can down the road. At some point, you're going to get to the part of the road where the can is, and it's going to catch up to you. Les Snead said, I don't need them picks. Give me all the big names. Mm-hmm. Give me all the big players. We want to go all in. Then Les Snead took second-rounders, third-rounders, fourth-rounders, fifth-rounders, everything but first-rounders, and turned them into absolute gold. This dude is an absolute beast, a monster, a general manager that you would hope would be on your team, because when it was time to go all in and have to win in a new city quickly, he did just that, and he picked the right guys to go all in on. Then whenever he had to move on and find young talent that was cheaper to mix in with the older guys, he was able to do that. And now they're staring down 8 playoff wins in 8 years for Sean McVay, who was hired as the youngest coach in the NFL at the time when he was brought to kind of lead this brand new franchise in the city of stars, Los Angeles, who were still nothing but T's and P's to all the people over there. Obviously devastation, but congrats to the Rams, man. Congrats to Les Snead. Congrats to Sean McVay. Congrats to Matthew Stafford. Congrats to Puka Nacua being a guy. Congrats to Cooper Kupp, obviously, being a quarterback on the field and maintaining his health through these very pivotal games. And then congrats to the young defense that the Los Angeles Rams have that forced 9 sacks last night, which is playoff record, obviously. And Sam Darnold was in absolute hell and nightmare. And did he potentially lose like $120 million over the last couple of weeks? Potentially. Boy. But Super Wildcard Weekend is done. There was one banger in there. There was obviously an upset or two that happened, and now all eyes look ahead to the divisional round. The Rams have to travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. How are they doing? Well, we think they're at a peak right now. I saw a little mic'd up situation from the sidelines. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Remember A.J. Brown reading the book, Inner Excellence, on the sideline because he's so fed up with what's going on in real life. He wanted to escape to a couple pages of a book. Well, he and Devontae, whenever Saquon decided to slide at the end of the game to win it, they go over to him and go, no, what are we? What are you doing? We get yards at least? You know, hey, we got to at least think about that. He goes, it's a dub. And they both go, oh, okay, all right. They kind of back off. So I appreciate the fact that it feels like the vibes and the aura of that particular team are very high over there. Spite of all the shit that has been talked about all year about this Eagles team, Matthew Stafford in playoffs is going to be dangerous. Texans and Chiefs, can't wait to watch that. Commanders and Lions, how you doing? Keep it moving. 9.5-point spread in the playoffs following an 8-point spread against the Texans for the Chiefs. And then, obviously, the game of the weekend in everybody's eyes, Baltimore Ravens versus versus the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore's favored on the road in Buffalo in a playoff game. It's the first time in like 18 times that the Buffalo Bills are underdogs at home in the playoffs. So highly anticipated matchups. Anybody can go and get it. Feels like there is kind of two classes of football happening, both in the NFL and in college ball, but we're whittling away and getting to the point where it's all the great teams. And we're incredibly lucky for that. The Toxic Tables here at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Early, you said Matthew Stafford looked locked in. It's fun to have that guy as your quarterback, I would assume, how Los Angeles Rams fans feel.
Yeah, unbelievable. There was a shot of him walking to the field from the tunnel, and I think right there, just the look in his eyes, the stoicness, if you will, how locked in he was very apparent. I think he started 9 for 9 with 104 yards with like 6 minutes left in the first. So right off the bat, you kind of figure, okay, there's a chance the Rams run away with this. Also, the D-line immediately, the Vikings' first drive, I think their first play actually, they started off with a sack. So it was a vicious effort. You know, we talk about the matchups in that next round, and of course, Ravens-Bills is going to be awesome. This Rams D-line versus the Eagles O-line is going to be a spectacle of trenches warfare, just because, of course, the Eagles, you know, they won the Trenchy with the long hair A.Q. Shipley trophy, not just the normal one. But
that's right, first place, brother.
Yeah, with how good they were, Jared versus a freak of nature, and he didn't even have one of those 9 sacks, but he was just pushing piles all night
Unbelievable.
long.
He can do that.
Was awesome.
Way too big, way too strong, way too fast for a human to be able to pull all those off. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here looking very, very cool. D-Butch, this defense that the Rams have, they're young, they're very good. It seems like it took them maybe a little bit to gather because before the trade deadline, what people are saying about the Rams is they need to sell. They need to get Matt Stafford out of here. They can probably get something for Cooper Kupp at this point. Puka Nacua maybe even. Go ahead and get rid of him. They were talking about being sellers. Then everybody gets healthy, and I feel like this young, defense kind of molded, came together. They kicked absolute wholesale ass last night against the Minnesota Vikings offense.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that they took Aaron Glenn's playbook. I don't see it like that. They were getting after him with 4, and they had some disguises, but they were getting after him with 4. Young and verse off the edges. They just kept collapsing the pocket all night long. And they had great coverage on the back end as well. Was in the receivers' faces, pressing guys, covering guys. Kobe Durant had a great pick on the out route. So Coach Shulin, first year as a DC for the Rams, and just a bunch of young guys contributing, playing huge roles on their first contract.
His Graham boy.
Graham boy.
I saw that from a Chuck Pagano tweet. Chuck took a screenshot of his television, pretty blurry. Sure. Didn't really know what the photo was.
TV, probably.
But Chuck was like, hey, last name Shula. Yeah, that family. Calling a game incredibly in his biggest moment. Wild card against Kevin O'Connell in this Minnesota Vikings offense. Now, you talk to Minnesota Vikings fans after that Lions game, they said it was over.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell them, just like we were trying to tell our Steelers friends, like, hey, you're in the playoffs. Like, what do we...
Won 14 games.
You were trying to play for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. You're talking home field advantage literally 48 hours ago. Now you think it's over? They got exposed. The Vikings fans almost felt like what they were in that Lions game is what they had been all year. They just were kind of disguising. And I think that's potentially because they're naturally a pessimistic bunch with the Minnesota Vikings, which I think they're great fans. I think they're loud, but I think they do have a sense of like, it's going to go bad.
This has happened a lot.
It's going to go bad for the Minnesota. I don't love that for them because especially with what they have to go through to get to games, with how cold it is in that city and in that place, and how loud that stadium is, how cool their traditions are, how sweet their fits are. They got sweet merch.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet unis. I mean, the purple, we come from a purple high school, but everything about it is sweet. The all whites, everything about the Vikings is awesome. Kevin O'Connell can drop a play for anybody to be open. Justin Jefferson, number 1 wide receiver in the entire league. His celebration actually became an international phenomenon. Like, the Vikings have everything you could possibly want to be a team, but their fans, as soon as they lose to the Lions the way they did, just knew this ain't good. And last night it was kind of like that. Now, I saw Dan Orlovsky kind of getting dunked on.
As he does.
On first. As Dan do. He was getting dunked on first take. And he said, you think that's Sam Darnold's fault? You think that's Sam Darnold's fault? I think against the Lions, when Sam Darnold was missing everything high, I think that's when the conversation started about like, there he is. There he is. People are almost waiting for him. Then they lose last night. He gets sacked 9 times. It is what it is. Makes a couple sick plays late. Makes a couple sick plays late where he's rolling right, throws back across his body to the tight end, showcases everything that he is. But there was a time this season where we were wondering, what's going to happen with Sam Darnold next year? Is he going to get paid $50 million a year? Is Sam Darnold going to get paid $45 million a year by somebody? There's going to be 7 quarterback-needy teams. There's only a few college quarterbacks, even though I think they're discounting Will Howard a lot. I think he's a good player.
Good ball player.
I think Will Howard is a good ball player.
No.
And he's
Big sumbitch.
Riley, too.
And he can, Riley Leonard. I think he's phenomenally athletic, and I think he's thrown his best balls. He said. So everybody's saying that this quarterback class is down. I think Will Howard and maybe even Riley, and obviously Cam Ward is a dog and a great leader. And shout out to Carson Beck going down there and getting paid double, I guess.
Yeah. Wild.
Which is wild to think about because what Cam Ward was able to do. I assume Carson's going to be able to do the exact same. And then obviously Shador and this whole thing with the Dallas Cowboys coming out now, it's getting even louder. But there's still going to be teams that need a quarterback. With what Sam Darnold was able to do this year, they're going to pay him so much money. And these last couple weeks, it feels like we all agree, I don't know if that huge deal was coming. Sam's going to have to do the same thing he did this year somewhere, probably. $13 million is what he got paid this year, allegedly, in the end, after bonuses and escalators. He's going to have to do that again, probably, after what just happened in the final 2 weeks. I'm not saying that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not saying that is how it should be. That is very much the world that we live in for Sam Darnold. And that just feels like it's a matter of fact at this point. Will a team drop $25 million?
Yes.
On Sam Darnold? Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone, who doesn't have a signed quarterback for his team next year.
No.
Are you talking about for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Absolutely would. For $25 million a year, absolutely. I saw someone earlier.
You give Sam Darnold $20 million a year?
Yeah.
25?
35.
Yeah.
30.
35.
$35 million.
Wow. Bingo.
35.5?
That's a steal.
35.
Now, he's still the best free agent quarterback available coming out, by far. So I heard someone earlier today project something like Baker's deal, which was like 3 for $100. I could see Sam Darnold still getting that. I would pay Sam Darnold that for sure.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh Steelers would pay Sam Darnold 3 years, $100 million to be their quarterback for the next 3 years.
Bingo.
I think if you look back, and here's what Kevin O'Connell actually had to say after the game whenever he was asked about how we should view Sam Darnold going into this free agency offseason.
I think it's important that we look at it really 2 ways. Football-wise, playing the position of quarterback, areas that we can really focus on to improve, areas as an offense where we can pick our quarterback up with a little bit of execution, give him another click when it is a 4-man rush. Whatever it is, we've got to find a way to look at it from that standpoint. But also, I just want to say, I think it's very important we all think about Sam's body of work, what he was able to do this year, when not very many people thought he would be able to lead a team to 14 wins. Very rare for a quarterback in their first year. In fact, it is rare, the most wins by a first-year quarterback with a team. And just the way he came in, committed himself to just a daily process to be the best version of himself. It did not work out in the end. And I think Sam would be the first one to tell you. Could he have played better tonight? I'm sure he would tell you that he could have.
Just talk to him.
Could I have coached better? I promise you I could have. Could our team have rallied around, a play here or there to try to keep that thing competitive? For sure. But the other phase of it for Sam is acknowledging the things that made him a winning quarterback this year and the consistency at the times he had it throughout the year and what that meant for our team, because I think that can stay with him moving forward as he goes back to work. Proud of him. Proud of really everybody in that locker room, but Sam and the journey him and I went on this year will always be something that's a special place in my heart for sure.
Certainly. It'll always be something there. We had a good run. Now everybody's assuming that means he's not going to be back for the Minnesota Vikings after listening to that particular take. I don't know if he gave that away in that particular conversation. What did you hear from Coach Kevin O'Connell, who we have massive respect for? I think that is something that needs to be said, not only just as a play designer, play caller, but also as a head coach. There was a clip that was either recirculated this year or released for the first time where last year after a loss, he goes in the locker room, he basically, he says how it is to the team. He says we're either going to go one way or we're going to go another, while raising his voice and swearing a little bit. And it was a little coaching. It felt like it was a little coaching. It was a little bit of a perspective setter for the team. So we respect him as a coach, play caller, and play designer. What did you hear from him right there? And you think people are going to listen to what he had to say about his experience with Sam this year and say, yeah, we will pay him $35-40 million still, even though the last 2 games were clearly the worst for the Vikings offense as a whole?
Yeah, they were crap. And I think think as fans, a lot of us would just look at it, and that's what you'll remember, is the last couple of times we saw Sam Darnold in some of the biggest games for the 1 seed, and then obviously on a playoff stage. But you would hope that, like, the evaluators, the front office people, maybe some potential offensive coordinators will look at the whole body of work and look at, okay, this is the new version of Sam Darnold. Did he play his best ball at the end? No, he didn't. But when you coming in, winning 14 games, first year with a new team, you had a good system, you had good players around him. If you can do that again and recreate that system with Sam Darnold, I think he will be a good quarterback. Probably a better option than a lot of teams have right now. He could still be a top 15 quarterback going into next year. I think he showed that. We know the talent and how people thought about him and viewed him coming out of college. And this is kind of who you expected him to be on this level. Did struggle at the end, no doubt about that. But I think a lot of people will look at him as a potential replacement or upgrade at the quarterback position.
I feel like what you said too about Kevin O'Connell there, like how much respect we all have for him, and like I love Sam Darnold and I love the redemption stories. Like, I really do. I genuinely do.
The locker room video.
The locker room video is awesome.
He was up on it now.
They're lifting him up. They're dumping water.
He only has like 15 points or something. Like, what was the stat since the Sam Darnold celebration video in the locker room?
12 points.
12. Okay, so I think a lot of it, of course,
that was a cool moment.
It was. A cool
with
moment.
how awesome and with how great he played the whole year, it's awesome. I think a majority of this is Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, the team around him. Like I think you could put a lot of quarterbacks in that situation, and then be great. Now, like if you're telling me he can go to Pittsburgh and do the exact same thing, I think you're batshit crazy. I don't see how that could ever work, just because what Minnesota has is so quarterback friendly. And like Baker and Geno, both those situations, Baker's got now Bucky Irvin, but Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, great situations. Canales and then Cohen, who I guess is now going to be, the next quarterback guru, offensive genius. And then with Geno, obviously didn't go well this year, but when it did go well, DK Metcalf, Kenneth Walker, like the situations around these guys who get, those redemption stories are so great, where if Darnold were to leave a Justin Jefferson and all those guys, like I think it'd be very hard for him to do that again.
Carson Wentz missed his redemption story this year whenever he had that one game for the Chiefs there at the end, 37-zip. They end up losing to the Broncos. But yeah, that next chapter that came in for a lot of these guys, that was beautiful and fun to watch. I think situationally, they were all very beneficial.
Perfect.
Much more beneficial than the first time around, whenever you're getting drafted at a high spot because of how good you are. Mm-hmm. But if you're getting drafted in a high position, that probably means the team not going to be great. Mm-hmm. That's how the NFL kind of operates. It's not a lottery. There's not just a ball popping out and saying who goes when. It's like, hey, who stinks the most gets an opportunity to get the best player or best players in this particular draft. It's crazy. The Sam Darnold story and the Minnesota Vikings story is just one of many that are going to pop off this offseason. Joining us now is a man who might give us a little bit more information on what we need to be talking about. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, who is in the middle of a Cowboys story that is potentially sports media shattering.
Whoa.
Yes.
It involves a lot of things that sports media can and has revolved around.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Shefty, hey, thank you so much for joining us. I know you had a flight late last night to get back home, so I appreciate you being on top of it. Let's dive right in. We were just wrapping up the Sam Darnold Vikings conversation after the last 2 games Sam Darnold has had. There are some people in here that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans who say, I'd pay that guy 3 years, $100 million to be our quarterback going forward because they don't have a quarterback. Then there's other people who do have a quarterback that say, did Sam Darnold miss out on $120 million over the last couple of weeks? What are your thoughts on the Sam Darnold situation, and what do you think happens with he and the Vikings going forward, just from where we sit today, one day after their season-ending loss?
Well, I still think he's probably the number one free agent quarterback available in a market where there are any number of teams that need quarterbacks that will not be able to get the quarterback that they need in the draft. And so he's going to be a desired commodity. But you can't look at the last 2 weeks and think that he enhanced his value. I think he had a chance to kind of blow the roof off his value, and they lost at Detroit, and they lost last night, was sacked 9 times, blame the offensive line, blame whoever you want. But those are not his best and finest back-to-back games of the season. And he played exceptionally well all year long, and he boosted his value, and everybody saw the type of quarterback that Sam Darnold is. But the last 2 weeks clearly, I think, impacted his value in a negative way. but we'll see how much. He's still the best free agent quarterback out there, and so you have to think somebody is going to value that a tremendous amount. The question is how much.
So does that mean that that's good news for the Vikings, who potentially weren't going to be able to get to the number that maybe another team was, but now there's a chance that the value has been brought down just a tiny bit where the Vikings would be able to dance, even though they have to pay Addison, have already paid Justin Jefferson, and have many other names on the team that are going to get paid big dollars?
It's a great question, Pat. I don't know that we know the answer to that right now. I think it's going to depend on what the market bears, right? If there's a team out there a la the Raiders, the Giants, the Steelers, whoever it is that needs a quarterback, there are any number of them that do, that looks at Sam Darnold from this year and says, okay, we're going to pay the guy $40 million, whatever it is. They may get it to a number that may be out of the Vikings' range.
Got it.
But it's possible that the last 2 weeks impacted the number enough so that maybe it's within the range of the Vikings' asking price and they can get a deal done and bring him back. But again, I think here's the thing. They have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings. They really like J.J. McCarthy. They don't know exactly what they have, but they love what they saw this summer. He spent a good part of the year rehabbing, so you're not going through practices. You don't really know for sure what you have. You think you have a quarterback, but you don't know you have a quarterback. So I think in a perfect world, you'd like to have Sam Darnold back if you could, but there may be a team out there that's willing to pay him more than the Vikings are.
Got it.
I think there's a wide range of outcomes here.
Yeah, so they got a reserve on. If it hits the reserve, it can go somewhere else. If it doesn't, we're going to end up paying that. I wonder if that's a percentage of the salary cap is the number, or if it's an actual hard number with how the entire thing is going. You mentioned a couple other stories that we'll certainly get to, but on the other side, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Rams, who just got a massive win. It feels like in the middle of the season, we're chatting about maybe the Rams being sellers at the trade deadline. Then they get healthy. Look, they've won another playoff game. This is Sean McVay football. This is Matthew Stafford football. What do you think was the big change or turning point this year? Was it just health and getting everybody back on the field for the LA Rams? And I don't know if I saw this coming. I'm going to be honest with this particular Rams team coming into the season, going through the season, and then watching that last night, buzzsaw Los Angeles Rams right now.
Well, Pat, I don't know if they saw it coming. I think that they thought that they had the potential to be good, but they didn't know which way it was going to go. And you mentioned that leading up to the trade deadline, they were waiting to see which way this team would go. And I think it was the Thursday night game against Minnesota that they won that pushed them more towards going for it this year, whereas if they had lost that game, it's possible they then would have approached the trade deadline differently, listened to offers on certain veterans, a la a Cooper Kupp, that they never got to that point. But did it come up, hey, if we're knocked out here, is this something that we should do? That's a conversation to that extent that came up. But they won, and they moved forward, and the young defense got better and better and better. And Cooper Kupp came back and Puka Nacua came back. And when you watch Puka, when he comes back, I mean, that just feels like it's everything, because that guy is dynamic and changes the way the offense is run. It feels like the offense runs through him and Kyron Williams. And they've just gotten better and better and better to the point where last night, in talking to that team this weekend, they said last week might have been the single best week of practices that they've had all year long. And they had that with all the adversity going on, with them moving to Arizona, with their city being on fire. I think there was so much that they were going through, but I think going to Arizona focused this team in, exactly. And Sean McVay kept telling this team, we're built for this, and it's exactly what he told the team in the post-game speech last night after they sacked Sam Darnold 9 times and trounced the Vikings and moved on to play the Eagles on Sunday in Philadelphia.
The LAFD hats, too.
Yeah,
just
sweet.
It was cool. And can't, once again, say it enough. Cardinals, first-class operation over there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They put up a list of all the things that they did, and how about their paint, their grounds crew? It looked like when you're watching a game, it was a Rams.
Rams home game.
You felt like it was a Rams home game.
Yeah.
52,000 tickets sold in 20 minutes or something, or 2 hours. I forget what it was.
But by the way, Pat, I'm standing in the back there, and I was standing with the Rams people. You notice the signage? I'm like, what sign? It was right in front of my face, but I'm sometimes oblivious enough that I didn't even notice. They had that big red zone thing. It was covered with a SoFi banner, a blue SoFi Rams.
That's what I'm saying.
Every signage around the stadium. They tried to turn that place into as
The
much of a
Rams
home
house.
game.
Yeah,
The Rams house. That's what they did. And that was a lot of people in that organization that put a lot of time and energy and effort into making that whole 4-day experience in Arizona worthwhile, and it showed with the way that the team played on the field.
I was watching, and they were showing the guy painting, and it's like, that's not an easy logo.
At all.
If you haven't done it, like, there's like a lot of this.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a lot of, and it was, I just appreciated the amount of effort and buy-in from all parties to make this happen, because obviously force majeure is taking place in LA. And once again, can't say it enough. T's and P's to everybody over there in LA. The videos are devastating. I believe Aaron is either going to come on tomorrow or the next day, because he's in the middle of all the.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Wow.
I was just in San Jose last night and playing. I sat in the FBO for like 15, 20 minutes with Gumpy, and we got a chance to talk to a little bit of the locals there. Them talking about the fires that happen in California every single year, and then in comparison what this one is and why. And their knowledge on fires is just so, because I come from Pittsburgh, which I think it rains the second most in America, like behind Seattle. So fires were never even a thought in Pittsburgh, so I never even knew about it. Then learning about it now through this entire situation, and then talking to locals, it's like, that's a real thing every year, I guess. All the time fires are. That one, just because of the way the winds and where it went and how, and you just can't predict it because the winds are just taking it. Those pictures, man. Hey, we are so sorry you're going through it, but once again, we'll be the dipshits that'll try to distract. Now, we go from Rams house in Arizona to Jerry World in Arlington. Okay. Is there a way we can get Tim Tebow and LeBron James involved in this as well? Because we got Deion Sanders, Jerry Jones, and the Dallas Cowboys in a hiring cycle that has Shedeur Sanders as one of the top quarterbacks in the draft class. This sounds like it's made up literally in an ESPN lab. How real is this? And what are we thinking the chances of Coach Prime having a star on his hat actually are?
Well, a few things here. First of all, last night I spoke to Prime in the second half of the game. He called me after his dinner, and I put out basically one of the things they said. And you texted me like, what does this mean? There's the statement, right? To hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful, and it's intriguing. I love Jerry and believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder, and everything there is about our team, the coaches, our student body, and the community. And you texted me and said, what does that mean? I can tell you this. Having spoken to him, the way that I took it was he was not interested in going to the NFL. He was not thinking or planning to go to the NFL. It may not even happen that he goes to the NFL. But because he loves and respects Jerry Jones so much, when Jerry calls, of course, he's going to talk to him. And he was intrigued, to use his word, intrigued to speak to Jerry Jones. He heaped all kinds of praise on Colorado. He's been talking to the athletic director there. I'm sure I could say this in the back of my mind. Probably there's money involved. I don't think that's a ridiculous notion when it comes to Prime, who's been an incredible businessman throughout his entire career. But I said to him at the end of the conversation, Pat, I said, so what's next? What happens now? And he said to me, I don't know. I said, you don't know what happens next? Are you going to? I don't know. So I think right now, everything is in the beginning stages. There's no meeting plan with Jerry right now, but clearly the lines of communication are open. They're going to be in touch, and I think it goes for both sides. Deion Sanders is figuring out what's best for him. Is it best to stay in school? His sons are leaving. He's got recruits coming in. Does he want to be there? Does the school look out for him? Does he want to go to Dallas? Does Jerry want to go move in that direction to hire him? You know, again, and I said this to Ty this morning, we were taping my podcast. About 16, 17 months ago, October of 23, a GM in the league called me. He said, get out your pen and paper and write this down. Deion Sanders is going to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, okay. I wrote it down, and I saved some pictures of the two of them for the time when it would become relevant. So last night I'm going through my phone back to October, November of 23. There are the pictures that I've been saving for the day that this GM had told me about this actual event potentially happening. And I think it still could go a lot of ways. the Cowboys are going to go into a coaching search. They may fall for somebody. They may be impressed with somebody. They may move in the direction that's not Deion related. But it may be that of all the people that they talk with and meet with, nobody impresses or interests them as much as Deion Sanders does. So I think right now they're navigating it. Deion's navigating it. They're both an option for each other, and we'll see where it goes.
A lot happened when Deion Sanders had that star on his helmet. You know, I mean, all the highlights that we get a chance to watch, all the, you know, it all comes on that AstroTurf. You know, we see his 6 shoes. He's faster than everybody. He's more athletic than everybody. He was going to be more flashy than everybody. And I think all of that happened because he was going to outwork everybody. And I think that is why Jerry Jones probably took such a liking to primetime, because he was everything that embodied basically the Dallas Cowboys. Works his ass off, successful, flashy. Listen, we're going to be a brand. We're going to be flashy. We're going to be internationally known. We're going to be comfortable in the spotlight. So I think Jerry and Prime, this is just from outside looking in, not having any actual relationship really with either of them, feels like they're almost made for each other. So then now Coach Prime has proved that he's a coach that can, you know, get men to follow. He has proved that he's been able to go into a place that maybe seemed hopeless, which some people, if you listen to Troy Aikman, would say that Dallas Cowboys might currently be a little bit hopeless. Not that Troy meant that, but he kind of insinuated, like, I don't know if that's a desirable place. And then also you think about just the fact that anytime Prime walks into a room, he immediately gets the respect from everybody inside of it, let alone how he operates. There's something that just came out. Prime's not letting any slides. No tank tops, no nothing, basically, around the Colorado building. And I was a little bit upset about the tank top thing. I'm like, hey, whoa. Sure. That doesn't mean you're not professional not wearing tank top. But it's like everything that Prime is about seemingly would be great for the Cowboys to have in there. Now, granted, can it work? Will it work? I have no idea. Will he want to do it? Will Jerry want to do it? I have no idea. But it feels like what Coach Prime is about, which people don't expect, like the accountability, this, you need to show up, you need to work, we need to win, you need to be confident, we need to, everything, all the darn things, man, that he talks about. It's like that's what football is kind of getting back to right now. It feels like, if you start looking around at different places. He's a culture setter, plus he is a brand that is associated with Dallas already. Feels like it would make sense. Would he want to leave Colorado?
Big
I have no
personality.
idea. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just saying.
I was going to say, I'm sorry to cut you off there, D-Buck, but he's a culture setter. He's a big personality. He fits all into Jerry's ideas like that. And I think the other thing, to tie in what Troy was saying, I think Deion is smart enough, experienced enough, savvy enough to be able to be willing to do that job on Jerry's terms, which is always key to that job. And I think that's, I don't want to speak for Troy, but in my read was that's what he was referencing, that things in Dallas are done on Jerry's terms. And that's not great for everybody. But Deion Sanders has been in Jerry's world. He knows how it works. He knows what Jerry's looking for. And I think if the Cowboys decided that Deion were the guy, and if Deion decided that that interested him, Deion would know exactly what he's signing up for, and he could navigate that job on Jerry's terms.
Yeah, and Deion might have enough relationship with Jerry to be like, nah, you know, like that ain't, we're not doing that. Maybe we should do this.
That's the other thing, yeah.
Go ahead.
Would Jerry have that same respect for him to kind of, I guess, take a step back in some terms, because they are big personalities and obviously they know each other very, very well. But being the head coach, I'm sure he would want some say so in personnel, especially with, you know, how hands-on he is with building the college program. So it would be very, very interesting.
Kind of the notion, and I didn't know this because I hadn't paid attention to the Dallas Cowboys enough. No disrespecting, like legitimately. I do not mean that as disrespect. I just didn't pay attention close enough to the day-to-days. They say that there's like a narrative that anytime somebody gets bigger than a star, Jerry doesn't like it. Like Jimmy Johnson allegedly got bigger than the Dallas Cowboys brand. And anytime that happens, Jerry doesn't like it. Prime coming in there, he's already his own. Jerry would be able to handle that, a superstar that is also the head coach.
Hey, I think if Jerry could take back Jimmy now, I don't know how I feel about it, but I think he'd trade a lot for another Super Bowl title, however that came to him. He'd be willing to go through a lot for that. And it's been a while since they've won. And if
what's the likelihood? You said Prime told you he doesn't know because he doesn't know what Jerry wants. He also doesn't know how it's going to be set up, laid out. Yep. There's a lot of question marks still from all. In your mind, in the history of covering the NFL, what is the likelihood that Coach Prime is coaching the Dallas Cowboys next season?
All I could say is it's certainly a possibility right now, which again gives you enough content to talk about. It's possible. But you know what?
Thanks, man. Thanks for giving us a bone.
But let me give you more. Right? Like I think in my mind, I think Jason Witten would be possible. Like that's another one.
Fresh off a Texas high school state championship.
Come on.
Down there in Texas, he won a high school state championship.
Come on, Mike.
He just won a high school state championship in Texas, boy. Do you know what that means, boy? Do you know what
that ain't real.
What?
Oh, that's the realest there is, boy.
Wow.
I don't know if you know what you're talking about.
I'm willing to wager anything that Jason Witten isn't the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I think Schefter is too.
Well, really? You just said that.
No, I'm not. I put him in the possibility category, like I put Prime in the possibility category, and we're all waiting to see what Jerry decides to do. I'm not telling you that he's going to be the head coach, but I definitely would not dismiss Jason Witten from this conversation. Definitely not.
I would like to say that it is a shame, okay? And this is what just happened with you, I think, and probably happened with many. When they heard Jason Witten's name, they thought to themselves, the guy in the booth on Monday Night Football.
Ebakeem.
Rabbit out the foot. Yeah, the whole, okay? Yep. Remember, on the field, dog. In the locker room, beloved. I got a chance to see him kind of work at a Pro Bowl. Everybody loves that guy, legitimately. I think the booth has potentially jaded a lot. Huh?
It's good in the booth.
Okay, see, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is right there.
Big Whit.
He was not ready for the moment.
Don't do that.
There was no reason to throw Jason Witten into the Monday Night Football booth, but they did without any seemingly practice or knowledge of what the job was. And they threw his ass in there, and everybody forgot how good of a football player that guy was. It legitimately happens just like that. People can forget.
Legend, yeah.
Legend on the football field. Beloved by teammates and by everybody that I saw him interact with. And he just won a Texas high school state championship. Yeah. That boy can coach, put a whistle in his hand. The boy's going to do something for him.
Well, by the way, they put him in the booth because of the guy he is, because of the mind he has, because of the player he was, because of all those things, which is exactly all the traits that would make him, again, a possibility here. And I think everybody has seen what Dan Campbell's done in Detroit and the culture he's brought there and the impact he's had on the roster in the city. I think people are looking for that type of thing. And I'm just telling you, like a couple of people said, hey, that's the kind of impact they think Jason Witten could have if given the now, again, you're projecting a high school coach, but
state champion in Texas, please.
He's a national football league.
But no. I got it. It's a high school coach. But again, people are who they are. And Jason Witten, take out the Monday Night Football, has been an enormous success at everything he's ever done.
Agreed, football-wise.
Related to football.
Other than the booth. The booth was rude.
Booth is tough.
Big part.
Booth is not easy. Yeah. Not in on Monday Night Football, you're thrusted in front of millions. Hey, millions! You don't even get the afternoon time slot to kind of cut your teeth with a couple 100,000 people watching. You get thrust right in the limelight. He was not ready for that particular role. Is he when it comes to football and coaching? We shall see if he ends up being in the middle of it all. 12:37 Eastern Time. Schefter, I believe. Are you getting an update?
No.
One of these times you're going to break news.
Well, Mike Tomlin just said in Pittsburgh that he imagines that there's going to be a lot of change there on a lot of levels in Pittsburgh, whatever that means.
Whoa.
In a press conference. He just said that.
Okay, so on that note, Tone has a question for you, Schefter.
Yeah, what kind of levels are we talking there? DC, offensive
he just
line,
said it. He just said
it. Well, maybe speculate a little bit.
Well, again, both their quarterbacks are free agents, for starters, right? They've got a number of free agents. So we'll see how that works out. But, I mean, look, they finished the season with 5 straight losses. They've lost 6 straight postseason games. I think that they recognize that they're going to have to change some things there, whatever that is. And we said before, I don't see that ownership group, the Rooney, they're not moving on from Mike Tomlin. I don't care how many people in the city of Pittsburgh are unhappy with the results or Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. He's going to be the head coach there. He's got a no-trade clause in his contract. So any team that's looked into it, and there have been teams, has been advised that there's a no-trade clause in his contract. Mike Tomlin controls it. Owners aren't getting rid of him. And now they have to sit down, examine the roster, and figure out what they're going to do to get this team back to where they belong. Like, their drought is, how many years? 8 years without a postseason victory? Wow.
Yeah, it's also never having a losing season, which is a massive compliment, obviously, to being able to have an above 500 record every year. But when you do that, you're picking 16 to 23 in the draft every single time. So, you're not getting a chance because Mike Tomlin has even said to Chase Young, I believe, I'm never going to lose enough games to get a guy that looks like you, okay? And that's what Steelers fans are saying. We're never, with Tomlin, going to be able to lose enough games to get a game changer. Not to Chase Young, as I'm just saying the body style and the freaks that are up at top
Where'd
5.
they get TJ Watt? Where'd they get TJ Watt? What number was he?
29 to 32, somewhere in there.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
he's a game changer.
Yeah, what was Tom Brady drafted? He was pretty good. Oh, yeah. 199. Fuck it. Why don't you just get rid of all your picks before 198? You know what I mean?
Purdy.
Just, why, you don't even need... Oh, yeah. Was that the last pick of the draft?
265?
Who needs any other pick other than who found a guy dead last?
Hey, I just retweeted a Rams video with the 30-13 when they drafted Puka in the 5th round. Like,
so why do you not even need draft picks? What do we even have a draft order for?
Find them, Tony. Find your quarterback in the draft this year.
Yeah, figure it out, bro.
I didn't say anything about the draft.
Kenny Pickett, 21.
Yeah.
Sitting there.
Bring him home.
Wait, no, he might be Super Bowl champion this year.
He could be.
I don't care what team it is. Everybody hits and everybody whiffs.
Wow.
And the better teams hit more than they miss. Everybody misses.
Les Snead. They're going to check Les Snead's resume here if he keeps going the way he is.
Ball game.
And it's like, wow, this guy's unbelievable what he's doing. Okay, so the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be changes at all levels. So all the levels of an organization. There's ownership, then there's general manager and front office, then there's coaching, then there's scouting departments, then there's assistant coaches, there's graduate assistant coaches, then there's like coffee breaks, then there's like ticket sales. What are all levels?
Training
room,
cafeteria,
equipment room. That's all levels, right?
Groundskeeping.
Yep.
We need better grass. Because remember, they had to go to the stadium during practice.
Anybody can get it.
All levels, everybody's gone. Holy shit. That's a mass exodus, Don.
You know what that means? It means Tone is a Steelers fan may be in trouble. Like all levels, including the fans. We got to change this up. Do whatever it takes to change what hasn't worked.
Couldn't
turn your gear in.
I couldn't agree more.
Kick the guy out of the fan hood.
Start shooting fans.
He was doing sets of 495 on bench so he could hear we go.
Bingo.
With Steelers fans unite.
Getting rid of the towels?
Completely Duffy. They're not getting rid of it.
That's change at all levels.
Nah, don't you even think about bringing
changing Renegade. We're changing Renegade.
Whoa! Breaking!
Coming here for your life if you keep talking about it the way you're talking about it right now. Terrible towels stay.
Doesn't sound like it.
Renegade stays.
What about that stupid Super Bowl song?
Here we go. Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Mike Tomlin's firing everyone.
Here we go.
'Cause they can't get the job done.
Here we go.
All levels gonna see new faces 'cause this place stinks day in, day out.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe they get their own practice facility, too.
Yeah,
Instead of splitting that one with Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that university's ruining that entire city.
Well, actually,
they paid for a lot of it, too.
Yeah, and they also just posted something about, like, they beat West Virginia in every sport.
What?
Yeah. They put
Not shooting.
They put a pic. I don't know if Pittsburgh has a rifle team. I don't even know if it's allowed, but every sport, basically. And the caption was pretty good. It said, country woes.
Oh, no, that is good.
That was a good caption.
That is good.
That was good.
And they did, our dudes did the whole having a good time. Check. That tweet.
Yeah, just wait. Rich Rod's back, though. Don't you worry about that. Okay, there's a new West Virginia coming to town. Congrats to Pitt. Okay, let's talk about another team that needs all the help it can get. Maybe even a new Super Bowl song. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Schefter, you say every team hits and misses. The Jets don't hit. They've kind of just missed. What is the situation with their head coaching search? We saw a report that it is highly, 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 three of them, unlikely that Rex Ryan will be the head coach. Do they have a leader in the clubhouse there? Or are they still kind of getting down to their finalists for their head coaching job?
Well, it feels like their search is expanding rather than contracting. It just feels like there are more and more candidates interviewed there all the time. I think they're being very thorough in their approach. I expect that later this week that they'll begin whittling it down to second interviews for candidates for GMs, maybe even head coaches, depending on the schedule. I still think that when you're looking at the Jets, I believe Aaron Glenn is square in play there as one of the potential guys. Aaron Glenn is going to get a job in this cycle. Ben Johnson is going to get a job in this cycle. And I think that there's every possibility and probably likelihood that the Lions are going to be losing both their coordinators in this cycle. I'd be really surprised if both of them didn't come out of this with head coaching jobs. And I think Aaron Glenn is somebody that already is getting a lot of attention with the Jets, a lot of attention in New Orleans. And like I said, it'd be a major upset to me if he didn't come out of this with a job.
He play there? He was there?
Yeah.
This would be going back.
Played there, started his scouting career there. I think he coached there, like everything.
Vrabes. It's just like Vrabes going up to New England, understanding the situation. Would just be like Prime.
By the way,
going to Dallas.
you just run. So if Vrabel gets hired in New England as a former player, and Aaron Glenn gets hired in New York as a former player,
Prime.
Maybe Dallas will follow that model too.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying is they all kind of know how the shit goes. You know, like the question with the Jets, I assume for a lot of great coaching candidates, and there's a lot of Jets fans around the WWE crew, so it's kind of fun to chit-chat and watch their misery and really live through it. It's like there's a lot of coaches that have heard everything about Woody Johnson, you know, and he's not an ambassador for the next 4 years. He is going to be in the building. And one way or another, I know Woody's team isn't going to like to hear this. People hate working for you, brother. Like that is just kind of seemingly how it goes from a coaching department whenever people leave. Now, does everybody hate the place that they worked at if they get fired or move on? Potentially. You have to weigh all those things. But for these highly sought after coaching candidates, are you just going to sign up to work for Woody Johnson? I don't know if that's a lot of people's like move, but Aaron Glenn, been there, done that, understands the situation, we assume, and would hopefully be able to command enough respect around a building to be able to handle that type of thing, just like you would think Vrabes with the Patriots, with the Crafts, because they know each other, just like you would think Prime with Jerry because they know each other. But is that reality or not? I don't know the world.
You know what? Here's the thing. Like, I was on the phone with one of the candidates that interviewed with the Jets in the last, and he's like, I talked with Woody, he was great. And the thing, they haven't won. So if we went back and talked to the people that were working for Woody when Rex was coaching there and Tannenbaum, like I'll bet you they might not say things quite as negative about Woody. But when you're not winning and the owner's involved, then it's easy to just go rip on the guy. I got it. And yes, there are a lot of people that have not enjoyed working for Woody. But I think it's a byproduct. It's sort of like the disgruntled locker room.
Agreed.
You know, you could go into any losing locker room and find people that are unhappy with the coaches and the front office because they're not winning. And then go into a winning team and see how many people you don't hear as much. Winning silences it all. Losing exacerbates it all. And it's pretty simple. Now, again, the Jets have done something wrong for a long time because they haven't won playoff games. They've been irrelevant. They haven't come through. But I think pinning it on Woody at times is deserved, but it's low-hanging fruit to me.
I agree. And his 17-year-old son deserves some blame, too. But whenever, I'm joking, obviously, in this situation, that whole story certainly seemed fake to read. And I understand what you're saying, too. You can always find somebody that is saying somebody else screwed them, you know, on a bar stool. Like, this person screwed me, an injury, I would have done this, the coach didn't like me, this whole thing. So I understand that there is a lot of disgruntledness to things, but coaches get fired from a lot of places and we don't hear the shit that we hear about Woody. Now, is it because it's New York and it's a lot bigger spotlight? Maybe, but maybe that's also an opportunity for Woody to look in the mirror and be like, hey, maybe I can learn from this and evolve. So the Jets can be great because the Jets fans, boy, they're riding with them. These people would just do it.
Oh, yeah.
They're just in the
I mean, I respect it.
Me too.
Just sticking by a franchise through shitty times, decades, generations. I mean, I couldn't do it.
There's Louise who works for the WWE. He's a Commanders fan. Been a Commanders fan his whole life. And his kid is 28 years old, had never seen him win.
Wow.
Had never seen him win. So he almost got like choked up when I was talking to him yesterday. He was like, my son, like, finally got a chance to like celebrate. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Hopefully the Jets fans will be able to do that. There's another coach that was made on the market yesterday that we were just talking about a little bit late into the process. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Schefter, when it comes to Mike McCarthy, we know the Bears want an interview with him, and then also the Saints. there's a report that came out today that basically said, like, hey, if McCarthy, obviously this wouldn't happen in Chicago, but if McCarthy were to get hired by the Saints, he'd have interest in a potential reunion with Aaron Rodgers. What is the likelihood that McCarthy is going to get a head coaching job in this cycle? And can you see a world in which him and Rodgers are paired up again this coming year?
All the big swings and all the big topics today, right? Between we get everything going on in Dallas, and now we're going to marry up Rodgers and Mike McCarthy again. First and foremost, when you're having Aaron on next tomorrow, is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's about chaos right now over in Southern California. Obviously, he's in the middle of it right now. But I think tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, well, hopefully everything's okay out there. Amen. And when you get him on, I think the first thing is whether he wants to play. Like that is when he's committed to playing, then you could begin to discuss all these options and whether that would be. I think New Orleans is financially committed to Derek Carr. Now, we'll see how that plays out. You're going to have a new head coach. He'll have ideas. But the cap situation is such that I think he's on their books for like $40 million. And if they move on, they only gain like $2 million. So either way, he's counting for like $38 million. My math might be a little off, but not terribly.
In that ballpark.
And so I think they're kind of committed. They have to be committed to Derek Carr, whoever the head coach is. So
that stinks.
I mean, maybe
not really.
Mike McCarthy, if Mike McCarthy gets that job, and if Aaron Rodgers wants to play, and if they have the conversation, and there's a lot of ifs that have to happen before we could get there, in my mind.
Well, how about if Big Mike McCarthy, the prodigal Yinzer's son, goes back to Pittsburgh to be offensive coordinator? Then Mike Tomlin just said he's not committed to Fields or Russell Wilson, willing to look to see what's available outside in his presser, just as of moments ago reported by Mark Caboli. Now, Big Mike McCarthy's the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What?
And who's the quarterback? Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Oh.
Wow. Mike Tomlin's the coach. We're getting changes at all levels. What are levels? OC, sorry, Artie. You're out of here. We're bringing in Big Mike, who understands what's going on around here. Isn't a big jagoff. Not that you are, but isn't a jagoff like everybody else. He's going to feel obligated to win one for the town in which he grew up. And who knows your offense better than anybody? Well, Aaron helped me create it. Sweet, he's available. Bang, Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Tongue Diggs, first reaction.
I thought you were going to say Dak. But Aaron would be Aaron.
Oh, my.
Tony Dog.
There's your answer.
Not interested.
There's your answer.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yikes.
As we get out of here, Shefty, and kind of wrap up this entire convo, D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, Schefter, been following your Twitter account, X account. Saw you put some names out there with some potential GM candidates for some teams. We got a graphic with the firings that have become available. Any other potential candidates? I feel like we know most of the head coaching candidates are going to be hired in this cycle. But any potential GM candidates that we might not have been hearing about that are maybe picking up momentum towards some of these teams?
Again, I think you're hearing a lot about a guy in Kansas City, Mike Borgonzi, like the Titans list, right, that they're bringing in for second interviews here. Just let me open up 1 second, right? So we got on that list, and I think these are some of the names you're hearing about. Terrence Gray, the Bills Director of Player Personnel, Ian Cunningham, the Bears Assistant GM, John Spytek, the Bucks Assistant GM, Mike Borgonzi, Ed Dodds, John Eric Sullivan with the Titans as well. He's the Packers.
Oh, those guys.
Those are the names that seem to be coming up here. And I don't know that a lot of fans know them, but these are the guys behind the scenes that are doing their work in a little bit of anonymity. And now they're getting their turn in the spotlight, which is deserved. And we'll see which of them can come through and land a couple of these GMs. What do you got? The Raiders GM job, the Titans GM job, the Jets GM job, right? I think those are the three right now.
Patriots GM job, potentially.
No.
Elliot Wolf
staying. Elliot Wolf, well, I don't even think he's got the GM title, but he's staying in his job, whatever that is, and they're going to bring Ryan Cowden from the Giants, who worked with Vrabel in Tennessee. He's going to come in and assist Elliot Wolf underneath Elliot.
Yeah, Wolf is just VP of player personnel.
Yeah, well, now he's got an assistant VP of player personnel and Ryan Cowden.
So he's not even close to the GM.
So, yeah, but this guy is not
Vrabes
boss
gonna be a
either.
GM?
This dude's coming in.
Yeah, to work under him.
So these guys are working for Vrabes.
Yeah, so Vrabes.
Is that what's happening? Vrabes is
the man.
Hell yeah, he is.
Congrats,
You
Vrabel.
said it, brother.
Congrats, Vrabel.
He is the man.
Hey, he's earned it. And we're going to do a little thing in the second hour that revolves around one of his answers to a question. I'm excited to watch him do his thing. I'm excited to see, what no-name pops into a general manager role that we get sold that this is the next super genius. Every GM hiring cycle, we have no idea who these people are. No clue. We have no. You rattled off 6 names. I know Ed because he's here in Indianapolis. Yeah. He's got that bald head or whatever. All those other guys, never heard of them. But if they get hired as a GM, you know what? These guys can see it.
Yeah.
That's the hope in this entirety. We appreciate the hell out of you, Schefter. Anything we should be thinking about that might happen today? Anything happening today?
Well, that's the great part about the NFL, Pat. It's the greatest reality show going. We never know what's going to happen in a given day, and hopefully there's enough excitement from yesterday that carries into today and tomorrow and for a few days here before we get ready for these divisional playoff matchups.
What do you throw, like the pigeons whenever you're walking through?
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
That's basically what you do whenever you give us answers. I gave you enough here, didn't I? Go have a combo about it. Go have a combo. We appreciate
Pat,
the breadcrumbs.
I try to fatten you up. I try to give you as much breadcrumbs and morsels as I can.
I don't need that right now, brother. We're
You
late.
look good, Pat. You look good.
Yeah,
You look good.
Well, can't be wearing light colors right now. It's been a long season. It's been an awesome season.
Yeah.
But the food has been great too. The food has been great this
Also
season.
fantastic.
And that's always a problem. I need to get on the Schefter workout plan. This guy's always doing something in the morning, always moving. This guy's, how old are you? We just celebrated a birthday. How old?
58 years old.
Wow.
Well, 28.
You do. Well, that makes you wonder.
Pat will call me. It's like the phone will ring. It's FaceTime. It's 8:30, 9 a.m. I'm getting on my bike to go spin or whatever. What are you doing? Like, well, Pat, I'm trying to get some work in here. Pat likes to visit in on the workouts.
Yeah, I like to check in, just see where everybody's at. I like to FaceTime too because I want to see how we're doing. I want to see how we're doing just to see if there's a conversation. And every time you pick up, we appreciate the hell out of you. Even late last night as I was flying back from Monday Night Raw, we were having a full conversation late night about everything that was taking place. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Shout out Schefter. He always answers the phone.
Yes, he does.
Literally always answers the phone, which I appreciate the hell out of him for, legitimately. He'll be on here, whatever. Doesn't like to give us too much, though.
No, he doesn't.
But I think he's scared to death that he's going to drop a morsel that's wrong.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, can't trust this guy with anything. Because there's been a couple times where he said some things on our show, and maybe he delivered it wrong, like the phrasing was wrong, and we'll tweet it out or whatever. And it's only, I think it's happened twice or whatever. He's like, hey, I didn't mean to say it that way. Is there any way you can help me out here? And it's like, you got it. And I assume that's his source says, being like, hey, I didn't say this. Was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me go back in there. His job is a constant, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You do his podcast with him once a week, the Adam Schefter Show.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal, too, because in that world, like, you do that once, like, you burn bridge with a guy forever.
Trust.
Yeah.
Need to be able to trust you. And he pulls out his notes. I had this from October 12th, 2023.
Nuts.
Somebody said Coach Prime was going to be in this. So I started putting photos together, obviously, in my notes section. I've been waiting on it. I was ready. I don't know if you guys saw him. I splooged out so many photos of them together. I've been collecting them over the years. The NFL is a reality show. It's lucky. No, we're lucky that we get to be a part of it. Hour 2 on the other side with A.J. Hawk and maybe a surprise guest or two. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life.
Last week, I have no idea what to expect. I will say, since Kirk Herbstreit is rolling around in a Bentley right now to a plane, Nick Saban will be the holder today for the field goal kicking contest. $80,000. Rob McElwainey's here, obviously absolute dog, owner of Wrexham, obviously his soccer team, and also It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think you have 10 other investments. This guy might be a billionaire. I have no idea, but he is awesome and entertaining. Kyle, you're a junior here, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Pat.
Have you ever talked any trash about kickers before?
Of course I have, Pat. Come on now.
This was his sign that he brought today. This guy. Is there anything you'd like to say to him before your first hold on TV?
Good luck, man. That's all I can tell you. I'm rooting for you.
Did you ever hold before?
Yeah, when I was in high school. That was a long time ago.
Okay, you're going to do great. Rob, former soccer player, maybe sign him to Wrexham after he makes this kick or no?
And look how confident he looks. I mean, I would be shaking. He seems very, very confident. I think he's going to make it.
Go! Go! 80,000, Kyle! All you got to do is put it through the uprights. Nick Saban, the greatest of all time, on the call. Oh, no. Oh, no. Spiral. Throw a completion down the left side. Wow.
I say give him another kick.
Rob, he immediately blamed the holder. Okay.
I don't know, but it looked like it was coming back. It wanted to come back. If it had a little bit more distance, it might have gone in.
Coach Saban, does he deserve another kick, you think, or what? Oh, no, Steve, back
Let's give him another kick.
I want to make Coach die.
That's smart, yeah, make him play. Coach, you think he deserves another shot?
Let's give him another shot.
Okay.
Make it.
This one for $100,000, Kyle. Nick's looking out for me here a little bit of coaching.
Where it's, yeah.
Rob, what was your
right
did
there.
you graduate?
I did not go to college, so I've adopted Oregon as my home.
If you were to go, would general social sciences be your thing? Hey, hold on, Kyle. Good luck.
Come on, Kyle.
$100,000 in Oregon. What a moment. Hey. All right. Kyle, I feel like you hustled me a little bit.
Yeah.
Your second kick was so much better than your first. Shout out to Nick for the hold.
How important is the holder?
Hold is the most important thing.
Great, man. Congratulations. That's great.
This thing is getting expensive, Reese.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this super wild Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is wonderful. We're incredibly lucky that we get to talk about it all the time, you know, and football is in its playoff seasons. That means it's the greatest time of the year. We hope you had a phenomenal holiday season, but right now with the playoffs, especially with what took place last night, as a team that nobody could have expected to get hot towards the end of the season, has continued to remain the team that could potentially piece it together and go on a run all the way to the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. In an NFC that has been dominated by the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles, and the NFC North was the topic of convo. Nobody really thought the NFC West, which is potentially down this year, was going to have a team that could put it together and maybe go on a run. Well, say hello to the Monday Night Modan from the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford was locked in. Puka Nacua was doing his thing. Higbee was going bananas. Kyron Williams was obviously cooking. Cooper Kupp is a guy. And Sean McVay is a damn good ball coach. Right now, the playoffs are set for the divisional round, not only in the NFL, but also the national championship is set for the college football world. We're incredibly lucky to do this. I can't thank you all enough for allowing us to do this for a living. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, seems like you're glowing a little bit after a piece of information that Adam Schefter shared with us just last hour.
I mean, look, Mike Vrabel runs the Patriots. And to be completely honest, we're the only team that's hired a head coach. We are way above the curve. And by the way, we got the best head coach available. So all these other guys, all these other cool gurus that everybody likes, they're not proven. Mike Vrabel is, and he's going to do wonders with Drake May and the entire team.
Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP tone. Pittsburgh Steelers are in an interesting spot. Mike Tomlin had his press conference today. He is going to be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers going forward. I think every Pittsburgh Steelers fan knew that, although there was a little bit of a buzz of get this guy out of here, just like there is every single year that the Pittsburgh Steelers lose another playoff game. He talked about changes at all levels. He talked about how, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson are certainly guys that he likes, but he'll be looking at outside available options. Feels like Mike Tomlin said, I'm open to everything attached to nothing, just like what Aaron Rodgers said. Is that how you took the press conference that just happened as you were catching up with it during the break? And are you jealous of the New England Patriots, who have Mike Vrabel in there as a culture and tone setter, a quarterback in Drake May that is very young and seemingly promised to be successful, and you guys are once again seemingly in a purgatory, even though another winning season happened?
No, I think I'm happy where we're at. I mean, Vrabel would die to have Mike Tomlin's career. Mike Tomlin was never fired at the Tennessee Titans. And had to go back to his organization, crawling back, begging and pleading to be a coach again.
Nope.
So no, I don't think so.
That's not what happened.
I don't think that's
just so
talk
you
about
know,
a former Steeler?
you better hope Mike Vrabel doesn't hear you say that, because he'll beat the piss out of you.
Yes,
too.
he would, but I've never seen it in my life, so why would I? So we're good there.
And try to keep you away from Mike Vrabel locations. That's probably a smart move, because his mitts are massive.
Yeah, he's a big son of a bitch.
First time I met him in person was out there at the American Century Classic, the golf tournament out at Lake Tahoe. And I was staying in catering, and we had just walked 7.5 miles. How many miles is the 18 hole?
That's good.
7.5 miles.
At least.
Through the mountains.
20,000 steps.
Through the mountains of Lake Tahoe, playing 18 holes of golf. All things that I've never done before. Play 18 holes straight through. Never done that before. Walked 18 holes straight through. Had never done that before. Walked through the mountains of Lake Tahoe. Had never done that before. I was in a bad spot. Golfing really kicked my ass. Brand new Jays. Brand new Jay Golf. I mean, these
which
shoes.
Which isn't great, by the way.
What's that?
Which doesn't help in this situation either.
Yeah, well, they looked great.
They did.
They looked so cool. But obviously, because they were brand new, my feet were sliding around in them. So I had bruised toes and blisters on my heels. Legs were tired. Knees were sore. I was out of shape. I was winded. And in walked this barbarian of a man who just got done walking 7.5 miles, maybe smoking 3 packs of cigs. I think he was actually throwing away a pack while he was hitting a vape with 3 different things of Zyn and cope in his face. And he walks up to me, and I see this big mitt literally coming from around town like this. And I go, oh, shit, this is a check. I've been in this situation before. This is a how do we feel? What's this guy made of? What's the cut of said dude's jib that he's about to hit? And he smacked me on my, and he was trying, I mean, it was a chop. It was a wrestling chop to my arm. I flexed into it, leaned into it. Can't get punked around here by Mike Vrabel. He will view me differently forever. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, first impression situation that's taking place. Body felt terrible. Mentally, I was on probably 120 milligrams. I wasn't there either. I mean, it was a whole situation. I walked it in, bang. Handprint on arm for the next 35 minutes. He is a towering dude. When he walks in, remember, that was a conversation about Vrabel. Last coaching cycle, after he gets fired from the Titans, is he would walk into some of these interviews and people would be intimidated by his presence. Whoa. This time he walked into Kraft's office after Kraft called him. He didn't go begging for the job. I believe Kraft called him. He walked in and he goes, Elliot Wolf, how you doing? You work for me now. That's sweet. If this is how this is going to go, I'm bringing my guy in here working together, working for me. This team, I'll wear a little tie thing. And I'll do whatever. Actually, he probably he doesn't.
He ain't spit.
Yeah, he's swallowing coke just straight down in there. I don't even know why I did that. I'm so sorry, Vraves, I disrespect you like that. But he's a guy that whenever they talk MCDC, it's hard not to just be like, Vrabes is exactly like that. But he's different. He's this super high football IQ, super genius, just like MCDC. I don't think that is ever talked about with these meatheads that get these head coaching jobs.
And this guy, I mean, you don't play and involve yourself both ways. Like he played both ways, Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowl championships. You don't do that unless you are a smart player. He didn't come into the league with, super freak show numbers as an athlete. Probably, where was he drafted with the Steelers? Late? So he came in there.
Third or fourth round.
They don't respect
third,
him.
fourth round. They came in. So you got to get through to have a successful career. You got to be a heady player. And then obviously he earned his stripes in the coaching realm and then got back to New England. Man, I'm excited. We talk about former players going back to their teams, but former players who were there during the height of the success, I think is important too. To obviously know how things have been done. And then I'm sure he's going to do a lot of things his own way. He learned a lot from Bill, but he also been around the block his own coaching. So I'm excited about this new era.
I believe there's a chance, that some of the do your job shit probably goes back up
For sure. Yeah.
Like they covered that up for a year to kind of say, hey, it's a new era, it's a new chapter. They're doing this at a lot of buildings these days. I guess that is kind of the new thing. Hey, we want to obviously understand what has happened here, but this is our chapter. We don't need to be walking around staring at old greats. We don't need to be reminded of what this place used to be while we're trying to forge our own path, forge our own river. Teams do that. Okay, I was part of a team that did that. I was mightily confused. I think the Seahawks did that. The Patriots allegedly did that whenever Coach Mayo got in there. I'd assume the Vrabel uses some of Bill's shit in his coaching. Like,
Yeah.
hey, do your job is actually, it's actually our mantra to you. We stole that shit. Yeah, that is. If we could actually put that up, you could just say, you can do the Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott if you want to do that. But I think it is for the fans. I guess I would have to ask you. This does feel like you're all the way back, like nostalgia almost, while you're hiring Vrabes and you got your quarterback. This is a massive positive thing that's taking place in New England. And is Kraft back to being on the fans like Kraft, and are the Krafts able to go to the grocery store or walk around town in Boston again after this?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like, I think Kraft doing this, and obviously people are upset Mayo got hired after 1 year, and that is what it is, but I think that was more so the Krafts kind of admitting, like, hey, maybe we got this wrong, we screwed up, we need to change it immediately. And Vrabel is so much more like a Belichick, where maybe towards the end of Belichick, even some fans might have been like, okay, without Brady, look at what this guy's doing. And that is the reality of how some fans felt. But I think after 1 year of Mayo, a lot of people were like, man, we had it. We really had it pretty damn good with Bill. And, the way Mayo did it with the media, I think people were sick of the way Bill was with the media. And then they got 1 year of Mayo and kind of the jovial, kind of letting everybody know what's going on.
Man, can our coach go back to saying nothing again?
And people got really sick
God.
of it. Yeah, and I think Vrabel brings that back. And then you just think about, too, like the do your job type thing for sure. But I even go back to, like, the Man in the Arena Tom Brady doc, the 10 episodes where he talks about, the early days with New England and how guys like Vrabel and Willie McGinnis and Teddy Bruschi kind of helped shape the player that he was. Because Vrabel came in 2001, and that was the year Brady took over after Bledsoe got hurt against the Jets. And so that was kind of Vrabel's beginning of New England. He was the start of the dynasty. He was there those first few years. And you talk about Mayo, the difference would be, when Mayo comes in, they are a very established, already won 3 Super Bowls. We are kind of the team, the class of the league. Whereas Vrabel, when he got there, they were shite. They hadn't won a damn thing. So it feels like not completely all the way there. We're not shite. The Patriots brand still is what it is. But these last 5 years have been shite. So it kind of is like a rebirth.
Pretty shitey.
Pretty shitey. And it kind
we were telling you how shitey it gets, so remember that?
It was
when we were telling them, like, hey, bub, you have lived in a fantasy land.
Yes.
They talk about that kid that goes to all the parades, the Boston kid.
Yeah, who 16 parades.
What's his name?
Something McGillicuddy.
Yeah, there it is. They talk about Connor lived a very similar life to that.
That was my life.
He just didn't have the signs at the parades. Yeah. Connor was actually there ripping dots.
Sure, exactly.
So probably talking shit to a lot of different towns at said parades. That was your life in every sport. And what we were trying to say is like, hey, bub, water finds its level. At some point it's all going to have to go. And then I remember you talking about, well, at least I got to remember, these entire things. Yeah. And there was a chatter from the Detroit Lions fan before he could have ever found out what his future was going to be like. He's like, this is the rest of your life now. You're like the rest of us. Your life sucks. You're just hoping to go 10-7 and win a playoff game for the rest of your life. That's what it's going to be. And it feels like you had to kind of deal with that for a bit. Then you had to acknowledge that you guys were going to be terrible. Now it feels like you Patriot fans are coming back to your ways a little bit, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Doesn't it feel like the Patriots moxie is kind of coming back over the last 24 hours of Vrabel's? Feels like the massholes have started to get a little bit back to like, you all forgot who we were. It does feel like that on the internet with you massholes, and I want to let you know, I respect the hell out of it. I'm so happy you guys are back. Great fan base to be back into the relevancy world whenever it comes to football and the NFL as a whole. And I think Vrabes is ready to bring that type of mindset back.
The only difference now, as opposed to then, is that Josh Allen's in the division. And, there is already, an established, kind of big bad wolf in that division. Not that the Patriots couldn't get there with Drake May and everything, but there was never that other team, ever. It was like...
Not those other...
Yeah, no. All those other teams, the Jets had, a little bit of a run, but... they were never worried about the Bills or the Dolphins or the Jets. And now it's like, oh, shit, Josh Allen and those other guys are pretty good.
How do the other guys feel? Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn!
Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino. Gumpy, how's the future of the Dolphins with this Vrabel signing, you think?
I feel like absolute shite about it, to be honest. Vrabel owned us when he was with the Titans because he plays tough football, and that's just something we don't do. So, we'll see how next year goes. We're probably 1 year away from a complete rebuild.
I was going on like probably a 4 or 5 minute rant just about the Patriots getting Vrabel back and like culture setting and everything he's saying and doing is right. And Gumpy just looks over. Dolphins are dead again. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, Dolphins normally okay against Patriots, but Dolphins terrible against Vrabel because Vrabel, tough guy. Now he and the Bills play tough football. We're dead. Now we're the worst in the division, and the Jets are going to. Gumpy just sat back, opened his phone, just started scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
It was
all you can do.
It was a real moment of
It's just the life of a Dolphins fan, man. It has been a tough ride.
Well, Tyreek is in, right?
He was. Rosenhaus said he was, but then the funny thing about that, when D-Bunch doubled down, he said he didn't talk to him. So I don't know what that was about.
Yes, he did.
So it feels like we got no answers there.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, might be a man who has the answers. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, father of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, the former president of Ohio, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah,
Great haircut today, Age.
Wow.
You were glowing. Wow. You were glowing, Age. And it's a big day today, Age. We're talking a lot about Vrabes. You know a lot about Vrabes, obviously Ohio State legend that he is. Everything we're saying is accurate, and do you think it's warranted for Patriots fans to be as pumped as they are, especially finding out now that he's basically general manager as well as head coach? And do you think it's warranted for Dolphins fans to say, oh, here we go, we're dead again? Age.
I feel Gumpy's pain. I would imagine having Vrabes sign there. Like I feel like Conman's right. Like you should have your moxie back. Like that's what a signing like Vrabel does. That's like you guys all know. You just talked about how he came and put his big meat paw on your shoulder and basically gives you an imprint for the next 8 hours just because he's trying to say hello. Like he has a presence about him. And Vrabes is one of those great mixtures of people that I've mentioned before. Every once in a while, people come around and they are these weirdly super intelligent meatheads, and that's what Vrabes is. Like he is absolute guy's guy. Like tough as nails, will do anything, can run all day, he'll never quit. But he also is weirdly smart, and usually you don't get that combination together, and Vrabes is that guy.
Yeah, and we talked about MCDC being a very similar man.
Yep.
Now, I think they have different energies about them. I think they have a different meathead vibe about them, but you can't just be a meathead, dumbass. Okay?
No.
You have to be able to relate to players. You have to be able to get your message across. You have to be able to have strategy that has success to get people to continue to buy in. It's like, I got faith in Vrabes up there.
Big time.
I actually hate how much my wife, too. Sam grew up Indianapolis Colts fan, obviously during the entire Peyton Manning, Tom Brady era, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, of course, the Patriots. Get it right. They just hired a coach a year ago. We're supposed to go through a 3-4 year period of do we got it, do we not got it? You know, it's supposed to be one of those things.
Yeah.
And instead they just go, nope, not doing this. We're going to get a guy in there. And because Colts had to play the Titans so much and how old Vrabes led that team, they had like 100 injuries. I forget what the number was. It was like 100 injuries or something like that. Still the number one team in the AFC, hosted a playoff game, won the AFC South, was the home team for the playoffs. Now, granted, they would go on to lose even after they sacked Joe Burrow 11 times. 10 times?
Yeah, they also had 9. That was the record they tied last night.
Okay, so 9 sacks or whatever it was. So it's like what he was able to do at Tennessee with seemingly limited roster every single year. It's like, this guy wins games.
Overachieve.
That's literally what he does. Vrabel wins
games. They steal those games that like kind of you shouldn't win. All of a sudden, Vrabes finds a way to steal a couple games a year, and that's gigantic in the NFL.
And that's what they said, or in Taylor Lewan's kind of little video that he put out about Vrabel, like, hey, you're going to win those close games. And this past year with Mayo, we lost 6 one-score games. The year before with Belichick still, but we lost 9 one-score games. It's like those close games maybe will go our way. And then you think about the players that he had in Tennessee, like I, personally, and maybe this is because I'm a Patriots fan, like what Drake May can be is exponentially higher than what Mariota and Tannehill were. So it's like the future and the potential of what they could be is massive.
They're going to do it again. You're going to do it again. Josh Allen's still there. He is a massive ordeal for the rest of the AFC. Mm-hmm. Colts fans are like, they still got to deal with that over there. So let's not start getting our Patriots nightmares back just yet. Now, let's talk about you talk about those close games. There's only one of them during Super Wildcard Weekend. Last night continued basically what the first round of playoffs have been for football this year. 27-9 dub for the Los Angeles Rams over the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, there's question marks all over Minnesota right now about what that future looks like with unsettled questions at the quarterback position. But in L.A., how about it, Age? I talked about it with Schefter. I talked about it with the boys. I'm so incredibly impressed by this squad because there's no way. This is just like the Texans. The Texans, there's no way you're supposed to win these playoff games, but they do. They have something about him. Sean McVay has something about him where he has his teams ready to play in the biggest moments, and this team has gotten hot late. This is the best time to figure out how to play football. Then Schefter said last week was their best week of practice all year. Buy-in's at an all-time high. Health is at an all-time high. And their play is at an all-time high. The Rams are dangerous, and none of us could have ever expected this, but I guess we shouldn't count out Matt Stafford ever.
Well, we think about it, though. We don't even have to count on Matt Stafford to have a gigantic day. I know he did have a great day, but their defense. So they win the turnover margin and they score on defense in a playoff game. What are the odds that you lose that game? I would imagine if you take care of those things, you're probably going to win the game. But, 9 sacks? Are you kidding me? Like, I know Les Snead has been getting the pub that he deserves, but, man, when you look at what they have done and what they have drafted and the big hole that they were in and everything, it's pretty impressive. They're actually fun to watch. I love when they show Shula on the sideline. He gets all jacked up. He's got a sweet haircut. He's over there. He's super juiced. He's pumping the dudes up. They're a fun team to watch, and you're right. They are kind of a scary team to think about running into here in the playoffs.
And a lot of the players on their team don't know what they don't know.
Yep. Yeah, young.
They have no idea.
That's a great thing.
Yes,
it's a great
it
thing
is.
to have sometimes.
Because you can just have blind optimism. Yeah, we're supposed to be here. Yeah, this is how this is supposed to go. And obviously, they all had success in college and in football life before. But in the NFL playoffs, sometimes that can loom over people. I can't win the big one, can't win the big one. It's like this entire defense that was young and came together late, started playing. They've already won one. You've already won a playoff game against one of the best offenses in the history of the league with one of the best wide receivers of all time. It's like, what a performance I don't want to say boost confidence, but almost prove to yourself, we are supposed to be in this dance, and we're lucky for it as fans.
As being young and naive, does that help? Because I know they gave up 255 on the ground to Saquon this year. They're going to play Saquon again. Does being young and naive, does that help in the second match? Being we just didn't do the right things in that one?
Yeah, you remember that. You remember performances like that. They're definitely going to have to bring something else to the table game plan wise. And Saquon at any given point, it'll be hammer home. Hey, we got to get 11 hats to the ball. We got to be gap disciplined because you miss a tackle on that second and third level with Saquon is going 50, 60, 70 for a home run. It's not just a 20-yard gain. So they'll definitely remember that, but they can definitely flip the page. And after a big win like this, you definitely have that big confidence. There's one year and we were 1 seed in New England, 14-2, I think, during the season, beat the dog shit out of the Jets on Monday Night Football late in the season, and then fast forward to the divisional round, they beat us. That was the Bart Scott, can't wait. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. So you can definitely, it's hard to beat the same team twice the same way. So
and then, there is a chance you can just beat the hell out of people again and just have their number.
Absolutely.
Football, that's why football is absolutely magical. The Vikings now join the latest cast of teams that are heading to goal for fish. Steelers, Packers, Chargers, Bucks, Broncos, Vikings, obviously all in the middle of their off seasons. What does that mean? Think about the run that all these teams have had this year. Think about the Vikings run. Just 2 weeks ago, they were up for the number 1 seed in the NFC. 14 wins. Holy hell, we're the Minnesota Vikings. They had that moment where Sam Darnold was getting carried in the locker room. Kevin O'Connell was watching to the side. This is why you coach. This is what we're trying to build to. This is everything we're looking for. And then boom, in an instant, it's over. Now what all these teams have to do? Well, I tried to put a list together of basically all the things that have to happen. Here's the Lombardi at the top of the mountain, okay? It is being scaled by 32 teams at the beginning of the season. Then we get the Super Wild Card Weekend. There's only 14 left. Then each week they fall off, and only one gets to the top. And that place has seemingly been locked down by the Chiefs flag for a long time. But all these guys down at the bottom that just lost join a litany of other coaches trying to figure it out. And for all the success that you had, you had a playoff winning team. You got to rebuild again. You got to rebuild this whole thing again. You got to renegotiate with all your top players and coaches because they're going to want more money, especially if you're on a successful team. If you're a defense coordinator and defense has won you some games, got you to the point that you're at, you're getting paid crap, shite, maybe some other teams are looking interest. Well, you got to go renegotiate for a bigger deal. So they got to figure that whole thing out. They got to reevaluate if what they're doing is working, right? Especially this guy. Right here, Mike Tomlin, legend, one of the greats of all time, has never coached a losing season in the NFL, has not been able to get past the first round in 8 years, almost a decade since anything good has happened. You have to reevaluate how you're doing things. He says changes are coming at all levels. You have to recommit to the climb. This is a lot. You see these things here? This shit gets heavy.
Steep.
Shit gets heavy, gets monotonous. Every day is the same day. Training camp. Every day is the same day. Season. Every day is the same day. Got to do the right things every single time. Because if not, bang! You're holding the team back. You're an anchor. You're a big pile of dump that's kind of weighing everybody down. That's pulling the whole group back. You got to recommit to the entire process, which sucks. Then you got to reinvigorate everybody. Because when you lose, it's disappointing. We're so close. Climax right there. Blue balls. We win nothing. You got to reinvigorate the whole building. You got to reimagine what you are, and then you got to restart from the beginning. That is what
it's a lot.
Now has to happen for the Minnesota Vikings. In an instant. In an absolute instant, it's all over. Great year, historic year, dream year, Kevin O'Connell, super genius year, B-Flow with the defense, holy hell. We got everything coming together at the right time. And then you lose on a Monday night to the Rams, and all the re's that you have to do to get back anywhere near that position sucks. That's why you have to pay respect to what the Patriots were able to do for a 20-plus year period.
Yeah.
That's why you got to pay respect to what the Chiefs are doing right now as we watch. It is so hard to win. It is so hard to continue to win. It is so hard to get through all the bullshit. Like, think about Cincinnati Bengals. We were talking about them on a plane last night, Gumpy and I, as we were flying. It's like we assume that they're going to be better next year, but they still got Chase and Higgins to deal with. That's just on their team. Those are two guys that they can keep on their team already, let alone everybody else on the outside, let alone a new defense coordinator, let alone Zach Taylor, and how's it all going to work out? There's just so much shit that you have to deal with all the time. So whenever you lose and you're out of it, in the building, obviously it's devastating, but it's also what Tomlin said, you know, like he's ready for the process to get back. It's a lot to get back, even into the conversation of potentially getting to the top of the NFL, AJ. That's no fun. That's a nightmare. As I was typing these out, I was like, golly. Just think about the massive amount of effort and amount of task that is in all of those things, that as soon as you lose your last game, bang, you got to start now to get back to the top. It's crazy, H. It's a wild business, this NFL.
Yeah, you going through that, honestly, it's scary. Like, it gives me goosebumps thinking about how terrible it is when you do have this great season. You never even think of it ending. You're like, okay, yeah, let's do this. We're going to go make a run in the playoffs. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, how great the year was, how fun it was. And then as the clock's getting close to zero and you realize you're not winning this game, all that runs through your head. Like, man, I got to go clean out my locker. Like, it's so weird that the season ends that quickly, and you're like talking about the coaches mentioned, like, on the plane about exit meetings, when you're going to have them the next day or the following. You're like, are you serious? Like, this is all over? It's just, even to get back to training camp is so long. So you're thinking like, all right, next year we're going to do it. You're always ready to roll already, I feel like. But you realize, man, I got a couple months until our off-season program even starts. I don't even know if I'm going to be on this team anymore. Who knows if they even want me here? So there's just so much that ends in an instant. And that's what does make football the best. That's why we watch.
It makes it the best. And if you're on the team, it makes it the worst. Because all Sam Darnold's going to think about all offseason is those last 2 games.
Yep.
That's all he's going to think about, those last 2. Had greatest season he could have ever had. The season he needed to have on a prove-it year. He had it. Last 2 games, terrible. All he's going to think about all offseason. From a player's perspective, it's like, how do you get better? How do I recover? How do I get healthy in time? What surgeries am I going to have? What surgeries am I not going to have? It came out, Bo Nix had what? 3 fractured
transverse fractures in his back.
It happened against the Raiders. There was a shot that he took to his side. He played the next week against Cleveland, and then there was a bye week, and then he beat the hell out of the Indianapolis Colts after the bye week, and he plays all the way through the wild card with 3 cracked vertebrae or whatever it is in this guy's back, playing like this. It's like, what? Like, this is awesome that this younger generation still has guys like this. Now, I know Bo's older. Because Bo played a lot of football. But it is nice to know that there's another generation of football players that are willing to play through a broken frickin' back. I think he actually said, and D-Butt, correct me if I'm wrong, that next game against Cleveland was like Monday Night Football or something like that.
Yeah.
And he had a couple fractures in his back, and he was like, I'm not missing my Monday Night Football. No way. Like, I've dreamt my whole life to play. That's love of game. That's love of sport.
Quarterback.
And I'm happy to hear that from Bo Nix, because I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of these quotes from a lot of these teams that have exited, AJ. I don't love it. Seems like we're hearing a very similar message from a lot of these places, you know? And I'm not used to us hearing this immediately upon teams ending their season. Feels like it's a lot of like accountability issues. Got to check the ego at the door. You know, Tucker Kraft came out and said, it's been brewing for us. You know, we could kind of feel that this was going to happen. Said he plans to step up as a leader. Wouldn't call the season a complete failure, but definitely disappointing. And then said the Packers need to wake up. I think that's like an urgency thing.
Yeah.
That is like an accountability thing. Mike McDaniel said, you know, you got to let guys know that they can't do it, but I can't just fine them and they don't care. What else am I supposed to do? And then George Pickens in the Pittsburgh Steelers situation is continuing to be a big one because the Steelers, once again, don't win a playoff game. It's like, well, this guy was late to the game on Christmas. So, I mean, that's just one particular thing that was being reported. It feels like accountability is starting to become something that is lacking. And we wondered what the ripple effects were going to be of the NIL transfer portal era. We did wonder what that was going to be. And I'm not saying that it is a clean sweep. I don't ever want to brush something with a broad brush. You know, that'd be rude to do an entire generation like that, because clearly there are still a lot of dogs that are playing the sport. But I think there's a lot of guys that since like high school have kind of been like the breadwinners almost for the family.
They've been the dude, right? They've been the dude, so no one's been able to really tell them anything. That's the problem.
Because they're making more money than everybody. And it's like, hey, what are you talking about?
And coaches, a lot of times though, coaches at a young age will tend to put up with that because the dude's a superstar and you're going to keep your job because the dude catches 4 touchdowns a game.
Be who you can afford to be has always been a thing. Well, these kids at a younger age are able to be something that only professionals have been able to be because they are becoming professionals younger, but I don't think they're becoming pros. You know, like that's the issue. I think in the NFL, it's like be a pro is how people describe like accountability, being on time, making sure you're taking care of your shit. And it takes time for people to become a pro, but it feels like there's far less pros than there was back in the day. And it feels like there's a lot more professionals that have kind of been treated in an entitled fashion, you know, kind of have been enabled their entire lives. And now at college, if they run into any adversity, it's like, yeah, you can get out of here and you'll get paid more. You'll actually get rewarded more for running away from any trouble or potentially meanies that are not accepting of how you're playing now and want to make you even better. And here's, once again, Coach Vrabel talking about that exact point with
Patriots Unfiltered
up in New England.
The accountability, maybe they were enabled at college. Don't want to tell them things that may disappoint them or upset them for fear for them to go and look for another offer. You know, so sometimes that leads to a player that's not as accountable to the team as he needs to be. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like we can change. We can, you know, do our part to help change some of those behaviors.
We can fix that. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. These guys suck, but you know.
What a nice way to say, like, some of these guys are turds and they're not going to be here.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
I'm not saying he didn't know his current roster, but there are guys. Yeah, what a nice way for him to describe that process that's going to play out.
Yeah, and we can help try to change that too. You know, some of these guys are turds and they suck. D-But, how do you think you go about finding guys? I think a big part of this next era right now of having a successful NFL team and even college team is you can't pick the turds. You just got to, how do you figure out who they are? Because if you get a turd, you're in trouble. You're already set back money-wise. The rest of the locker room sees it. The building sees it, everything like that. But if you get the right guys, you got guys playing through broken backs.
Yeah.
You know, there's different levels to this thing. There's different messages. There's different cultures, basically, being decided by these decisions. How do they know who's the right guy? How do you know, legitimately?
You try to do your research as much as possible, and we hear it when you're getting recruited for college or you're getting recruited for the draft. You know, the coaches or whoever they call your high school janitor, your high school coach, your teacher, obviously your parents, all these different people, and try to get as much background as possible. And sometimes there are turds, sometimes they're just immature, and you can put them in the right environment, you put them in the right meeting room, you put them in the right building, and they can definitely I've seen it before where a lot of guys come in a certain way and they're just around certain people and held to a different standard, and they definitely change and mature and become pros. And I think all of us had to learn how to become pros, what that actually means, regardless of how good your intentions are. You got to learn how to watch film, you got to learn how to take care of your body, you got to learn what to do in the offseason. So I think a part of it is so much movement, so much turnover, not only with coaches, but players. So now these young guys coming in, maybe have a good attitude, or maybe on that line, on that fringe, they're in a good room around good vets. Because I think coaches are important for sure. The front office, resources, all that stuff is important. But I think most importantly is the vets and how they police their own locker room. Then once they leave and go on, it's the next group. That's what you saw with the Patriots. Like the Patriots, it was one area, it was the Ty Law, the Vrabels, the Brewskis, and then that kind of the next iteration of that was McCourty and Chung and Edelman and Gronk and Brady and all those certain guys who are kind of the pillars in those programs. And hey, this is how we do things around here. So I don't think we have as much of that. So it's not so much the players changing, but it's the environments that I think are changing, too much or too fast.
I agree completely. As somebody that got in trouble early and then learning and watching and observing and listening, and I was very lucky that I got to watch Adam Vinatieri work and be in that locker room and kind of watch how they do it. And I think that's why I was so open to like Zaire about like, hey, is your locker room, man. Like, I think accountability and being on time and work ethic and everything. And now, granted, I'm not in this era, so I do not know this era at this time in the locker room. But I think that's a big locker room thing as opposed to anybody. Coaches can say whatever they want. They could find McDaniel said, I could find whatever. I'm finding these dudes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they just don't care. They're literally just laughing in my face. They said they sold a T-shirt yesterday and made $200,000. So I don't know what you want from me. That's basically what McDaniel said. But like the locker room kind of has to be the ones that say like, that's not how we go about doing this. In our eyes, I think we're all seeing it the same way, right?
The locker room for sure, but Bill, like I know in New England, like we had like a flash blizzard out of nowhere, and like guys showed up. I was one of the guys, probably like 5, 6 of us. We showed up. I showed up like probably 4 or 5 minutes late. And you not only get fined, you get fined for missing a whole day. You got at that point, you get sent home with your film, and you're gone for the day. So you show up at 8:05 or whatever it is. You're out. You sit home. It wasn't just me. I was, I think, a rookie at that point, maybe a second-year player. But it was, 10-year vets, superstars, a couple guys you missed, you're gone. So everybody's kind of held to that same standard. And his point was like, hey, we're in New England in the middle of the winter. Like, be a pro.
Everybody else was able to.
So that was kind of the standard, and it's definitely, and you just understood it. You took it, and like these things that happen, people being late or missing treatment, it may be a one-off or a two-off here with the team for the year, but that's not like, oh, I can't keep finding these guys. Like, what do you want? Like that Shane
Steichen said
that's terrible.
Yeah, guys are gonna be late.
Guys aren't gonna show up on time every time.
It was like that was enough. I heard everything I needed to hear right there.
Yeah,
I heard everything right there, and it's and I'm not just pointing out. It's not just the Colts. I'm learning. I think I'm just so close to the situation here with the Colts that I think it's like, oh, this team is like this. I think there's a chance that this is how we're going to figure out who wins and who doesn't.
Yeah.
The team that is able to deal with the, I don't want to say lack of attention on accountability, but seemingly the lack of care or value for accountability from the team as a whole, that team's going to stink forever. Okay, it doesn't matter who they have owning it, doesn't matter who they have coaching it, GM. I guess the coach probably sets the standard, but it doesn't matter if the locker room does not care about anything.
Yeah,
you're never going to win. Like
no matter how talented they are, eventually they may get in the playoffs or something, but eventually they're going to quit when it really matters, and they're going to turn on each other.
It shows up when it shows up. Yeah, that's kind of that's the whole thing.
Taking care of all that shit. That just, and coaches always say, that just gives you a chance. You know what I mean? That just being in your playbook, take care of your body, being on time, like that just gives you a chance to compete. That doesn't guarantee you're going to go out here and win, but that gives you the best chance. And the McDaniel thing, the coach thing, all of it's bad, but the McDaniel thing was worse because when you see that, that's not like the 40th guy on the roster. That's not that's got to be like a star player or star players who are just repeatedly showing up. Sure. You always say act how you can afford to act. So if you're getting paid $20, $25, $30 million a year, you can continue to do that because they're not going to get rid of you. You're making 2-3 times what the head coaches make, what the GM is making. So they're probably not going to get rid of you. You're safe to a certain point. If you're a backup or you're a fringe starter, you're not going to be doing that. So those are the guys who tend to set the cultures in the locker room. So the teams that are still in it, you don't hear pretty much any of that shit.
It's been fascinating to hear all of this year, though. Because I think there is a nice mix of people that like want to be pros. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to say people that want to be pros, but there's people that are like, this is not how this is supposed to be.
Majority, I would assume.
Majority. We would assume. We would hope at least. Like DeForest Buckner coming out and being like, there's just a lot. Everybody's gonna have to check their egos. Tucker Kraft being like, we got to wake up. Like, we got to do this. He's a young player.
Well, that's what I was going to say with, like, us talking about the Packers being 1 to 2 years away. And I think if you're a Packers fan, maybe kind of worries you a little bit is, he's in his second year. So it's like if he's – and I think their offense, I think Josh Jacobs is the oldest guy on the offense, and he's like 27. Like, they're the youngest team in the NFL. They don't really have those vets on either side of the ball. So you could see why when things start going bad, it's like, should a second-year tight end who's kind of starting to ascend as like a big-time dog, like, I don't know if it's fair that he's the guy who needs to kind of bring the locker room together and be like the leader to kind of get him back on the right path.
There's some young guys. I think Ray, right? Like, there's some leaders that are leaders like
out the gate
immediately, and then there's some guys that evolve into their leadership roles. I think as the team continues to evolve and you're still on the team photo that's on the wall in the hallway longer and more photos than everybody else, it's like you've been here, you kind of understand how this is supposed to go. It's a tough thing whenever there's adults and a lot of money at line and how you think something's supposed to go and how it's actually going. I couldn't even, like, I'm so happy I played the position I play. It's like there is not even a question of me to talk. So I don't even have to. Not that I saw anything in the first.
But everyone can be their own. Like, there's all different kinds of leaders, though. By you doing your job and them seeing you take it serious, like, that's being a leader. That's part of it. We're like, hey, it's not cool. It's not cool to mess around and think it's funny if you mess up or something goes wrong. Like, that's when culture gets really bad. If you see guys like joking about getting beat deep or something, like, hey man, like, this is never funny. Actually,
we saw a guy come onto a plane after we got our ass beat, worried about card debt, and that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm about done with all this. What am I wasting my time for doing this?
And emotion.
Yeah, why do I care? Why do I care? That was somebody else getting the ball. Yeah. That was somebody else getting the ball. We just got smoked.
Pay your debts.
Bingo, loud, laughing, coming on the plane. It's like, what? Dude? What are we talking about, man?
Well, you could have been a
See
jag
you on Monday, maybe.
Like, you could have been a jag-off, too, after you got arrested and just been like, fuck it, whatever.
No, I couldn't have been. They would have got
Well, but you know what I mean. Like, that's.
I was nowhere near good enough to be that big of a distraction on bye week, and that was a conversation I was having with myself in my cell that particular morning. Whoa, I can't wait to get out of here. It felt like I was in Aaron Rodgers' darkness, but instead it was a glass cage in the holding cell because I was a special inmate. While all these others were just staring at me while we were going in for booking, I was just in the middle of my thoughts, and there was a large dump in the toilet because I don't know who the previous special inmate was, but they certainly were very comfortable dumping in a glass box because it smelled like absolute crap. The sandwich gets tossed into me. I'm obviously not hungry. What is this? Supposed to be bologna. Supposed to be a fake meat. What does that even mean? What do you mean it's supposed to be a fake meat? All right, I'll try it. It wasn't bad. A little cracker they gave it, not terrible. That was a nice little distraction for like 3 to 4 minutes. And then all of a sudden I'm back to, I have no job. I have no degree. I just embarrassed my family. Embarrass my whole team. It's all over. I don't know if there is a lot of those fears anymore from anybody. I feel like there isn't a lot of fear. I had a chance to talk to Paul Heyman, who I'm incredibly lucky to get a chance to chat with, and I'm a massive fan of. He's been in the wrestling business, I think, 30-some years, since he's like a teenager, actually. Wow. And I asked, literally, he's been around it forever. He's one of the pioneers of professional wrestling. Without him, I have no idea where wrestling would be. Obviously, it would not be where it is right now. But I talked to him, I said, like, man, I'm very worried that I'm going to get exhausted. Like, I am not. I'm tired maybe some days because I haven't slept enough. But every day I wake up like I'm enjoying what the hell I'm doing. Like, I am very happy to wake up every single morning and do what we do for a living, because we're in the middle of a lot, right? Like, I've made cross-country flights a lot over the last 10 days, and I'm worried that I'm going to get exhausted because I've seen a lot of other people kind of go through it, especially in the wrestling business. It happens because of how much to travel or whatever. So I asked Paul, I was like, Paul, I'm worried that in the future I'm going to get exhausted and it's going to, become a thing for me. I was like, how have you ever combated that or whatever? He gave me this speech about every day I'm auditioning, hoping that they'll invite me back the next day. So there's no chance to be exhausted. There's just a chance that you get your ass fired every single day. So I try to bring it every single moment I have an opportunity. It isn't like there is, I'm going to get tired. And what if there is? You have no idea. I'm just hoping to get invited back, he said. And I'm like, Holy fuck, I needed to hear that. I needed to be reminded that everything can disappear tomorrow. And it's like Adam Vinatieri had that feeling. Adam Vinatieri thought he was going to get fired every single day if he missed a kick or didn't show up. It's like that fear of being replaced, that fear of losing your thing. I don't think there's a lot of that anymore because these dudes are getting money whenever they're like 17 years old. So there hasn't been like the moment of like chaos, oh shit. And I think we're creating a little bit of a different lifestyle for people. How do we kind of ride the wave of what we're going through will inevitably determine which teams are going to be great and which teams are not, though, AJ.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to, like, when you talk to any guy evaluating people at the combine, like, they want to know if you love football. Like, that is gigantic for them because, like, even if things don't turn out like whatever, like, they know they can still trust you and you can be a good teammate, you're going to be accountable, and you'll fight through injuries and things like that. But, I don't know how it works with if people, like, you need team guys. You need guys that are worried, hey, I want to be accountable to these 10 other dudes. I don't want to leave my corner out to dry. If I'm supposed to buzz the curl flat, and I told him, hey, I'm going to be under that 10-yard out, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to hang my corner out to dry. Like, you just always have to have that paranoia that, okay, I'm going to ruin it for these guys. And I think I don't know. I think a lot of guys do have it, but unfortunately, when you have a couple guys that don't, it can ruin a whole team.
Hey, that can infiltrate, too.
Yeah.
Crop can infiltrate.
Quick.
Create the little different silos within the locker room where you
then guys start fighting, then you start fighting each other. Like, oh, why don't you do your job? Okay, here we go. And then if you don't figure that out, it just lingers.
Which goes to the importance of having, like, glue guys in the locker room as well. It's so hard to build a locker room. You need vets that have good leadership, good work ethic. You need people in the locker room that are glue. Like
still productive, too. They still, you know. It's still business. You got to
not just the wise old man giving you advice. You got to make plays too.
Yeah, because nobody's listening to shit if you're not making any plays.
Yeah, you can't just be the rah guy. Let's cameras are here. Let's give a good victory speech. Let's get a game ball for getting 2 tackles. Like, no, you got to be busting your ass throughout the week, being productive. Obviously, taking care of your body, because you talked about it. It's not like college or high. Like, these are grown-ass men with families. And, like, even with the coaches, like, these are your coaches, but these are, like, your coworkers and the good coaches to say, like, hey, if you guys – and as a pro, you shouldn't just be showing up to the meeting, like, trying to get through. Like, you should probably have some input. Like, if you're out there playing this role, hey, I've been seeing this on film. What you think about this, coach? I think those are the best teams, especially when we get to this point in the year. And you talked about that whole list you got to do year in and year out. That's much easier to do when you come back to the tip. Because we know every year it's a new group, regardless of how many changes. You change 40 different guys or 4 different guys, it's a different group. But the more of those things you can come back to the plate in April and you have kind of set, like, the standard, the foundation, now you can build on top of that, and that's how you can compete year in and year out.
Congrats to the Rams. Just fresh off of last night, everything we've talked about, everything we're talking about right now, they've had to go through it, and they've come out the other side with their culture set with a young group that's ready to carry it. How long can Stafford play for?
He's awesome, man. He's so good. He's so fun to watch.
So many classic vintage Stafford, like
great beard,
loose elbow, great teeth, great beard.
Yeah.
Got a
First
little
play of the game. Come on, you knew right here. You get Puka involved right away. I was like, this might be tough.
He's 36 years old. He was drafted in the same class as I was. 221 picks earlier.
Dart.
He got like 40 million or something like that. That was also in the first drive. Connor said that whenever they showed him pregame walking in, I did not see the clip, but it appeared as if he was. Staff was ready. Felt like Staff was locked in, is how Conman described it.
Yeah, lasered it, and he was, flanked by his offensive line. And something that we haven't really talked about with the Rams so far is there's been a lot of, running back chatter, especially with these playoff teams. Like, Kyren Williams is unbelievable.
Weapon.
He is so good in the passing game and in the running game. And, when it came to the Rams in particular, I think it was last year, where their O-line just stunk. And then they went out, they got a couple free agents. I believe one of the guys actually from the Lions, Jonah Jackson, is there now too. Yep. But they really did, like, replace the most key positions in free agency and then drafted so perfectly. Like, they put together that whole list that you said within those months of, March when free agency starts till the season. Like, it was perfect what they did. I think probably teams are looking at this. I know the New England Patriots are probably one of them, like, hey, how do we just replicate exactly what the Rams did? Because it was unbelievable.
They've had to do both now. Les Snead has had to showcase both styles of winning in the NFL.
Yep.
Spending and giving up all your picks to go in right now, and then on the other side of that, having to deal with it, cap restrictions, pick restrictions. Are you able to build a team? Now, even with a big quarterback contract, Even with most people on that other side have had to do it with a rookie quarterback so they can build up around it. Instead, this is 36-year-old Matthew Stafford still getting paid and building up around it. Bravo to the Rams. Bravo to the Rams. Jerry Jones is going to be looking for his next Sean McVay. Troy Aikman did a little punditry last night. Did you hear that?
I did hear that. This was very interesting from Troy.
It certainly was. Troy Aikman was asked a question by Scott Van Pelt about the coaching vacancy there in Dallas, and Troy took it as a time to kind of say his entire thoughts on the entire situation in Dallas, and we'd like to tell that Hall of Famer Troy, we appreciate the hell out of you, pal.
Well, I thought Mike McCarthy would be the head coach, so this is a bit of a surprise for me today that he's not going to be, and what went into those conversations that Schefter talked about, I'm not exactly sure, but it suggests that there's not a real plan. I mean, and the fact that they haven't had the opportunity to maybe interview a Ben Johnson and some of these others, Aaron Glenn. I think that what Schefter said as far as Kellen Moore being a candidate, that seems logical to me. A guy who has familiarity with the building. He's worked obviously with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones, and they know each other very well. In fact, when Mike McCarthy got the job, it was told to Mike that Kellen Moore would be the offensive coordinator. So that's how much the Jones family thinks of him. Beyond that, it's hard to imagine. As far as a coveted job, I don't know that that's accurate. I mean, I do think the Cowboys are obviously a high-profile team. Whoever is covered or whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach, they want to do it on their terms.
That's fair.
That's hard to do. And it's, if you take a Dan Campbell, for instance, is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? It's hard to imagine that he is. It's hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches might be. So I love the Dallas Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. I wish them well, but to say that it's a coveted job, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with it.
Troy, I assume a lot of Cowboys fans are going to be heartbroken at Troy Aikman saying that because it's probably too damn true in their ears and their eyes from what they've seen. D-Butts, your first takeaway from Troy Aikman there?
First takeaway, I love how just open and honest he came off. Very, very transparent. Obviously, he's a Cowboy great, Hall of Famer, played a lot of downs there, won a ton of Super Bowls there. Once again, he knows what it's like at the height, and he was a player that, we've known from all the things we've seen from NFL films. He didn't keep his mouth shut. He always spoke his mind, whether it was talking about the coaches or teammates. And so what he said about the coach coming in wanting to do it their own way, that's, I think, will be the biggest thing. You spoke about Jimmy Johnson earlier and his exit from Dallas, and that was probably the last time that they were great. So it'd be interesting who Jerry actually brings in there and then how Jerry continues to go about his business.
AJ, how about him saying that Kellen Moore was kind of thrust upon Big Mike McCarthy? So the family obviously loves Kellen. Kellen's having success right now with Philadelphia. What was your takeaway from Troy Aikman's diatribe there about the state of the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, when Troy said he's not so sure it's a coveted job, that's a bit of a jarring statement because it's the Dallas Cowboys. We understand the brand that Jerry has built over the years, but it's true. What was the term we tried to remember the other day? Organizational alignment. You have to have that with Jerry if you want to be in Dallas. And Jerry and the rest of his family. And actually, we saw Steven. We were walking to the stadium, Pat. You were doing game day. We saw Steven on a golf cart and Jerry coming in a car right behind him. Not national championship, but down at the
Cotton Bowl.
Ohio State game.
Yeah, the Cotton Bowl, the Ohio State game that they end up winning. They showed Jerry on the Jumbotron at one point. I did not see it. Foxy did.
It was some of the loudest boos I've heard in quite some time. And every
what?
single other celebrity that they showed in stadium, all claps, all cheers. Jerry Jones, instant boos.
That's probably the Ohio State fans, booing, right? That's probably the Ohio State fans.
I doubt it.
half that stadium was Texas fans, which you would think would potentially be loving them Cowboys. It wasn't the Texas fans that were booing Jerry.
I'm pretty sure it was all the Texans fans.
Whoa!
Come on.
They're about done with it. They said, hey, listen, bub, we saw you in Landman. Go ahead and take your old ass over to the acting world. They need you in Hollywood, and you would do great over there. You've been a billionaire in multiple things that you've tried. Oil and gas. Obviously, one all in there. Fucking hit. Dallas Cowboys, one all in there. Fucking hit. Dallas Cowboys fans are, why don't you go all into being an actor?
Sure.
Become a billionaire over there. You and The Rock making movies.
Oh, Red 2.
He was phenomenal in Landman.
He was.
If he was reading a script, okay, what you guys are saying he was.
He absolutely was.
Ad lib, I think.
Oh, yeah. He was off book. He remembered it all.
I think that's 95% ad lib. If that is not ad lib,
he was crying almost. What do you guys think? This guy's Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah. No, you're saying he is if he's reading the script and he's crying. Somebody else's words, he's crying. I don't think so.
Is Jerry doing like a 5-minute improv monologue?
That's what I think. It was
John
too
Hamm
good.
and Scrubs?
It was too good.
They
said, Jerry, you go in there and you talk like you would talk to one of your friends.
I've given this speech many times.
That's what I think has happened. He goes, why don't I take care of this? They handed him a script and he said, come on.
Want me to cry? Okay, I'll cry.
You guys don't even have any tears in here.
And they recorded that part. And then Taylor Sheridan, the creator, said, all right, now read my fucking words. We're not doing that again.
No way!
Yeah.
That was the first take.
Yeah, exactly. Only
One
take.
done.
First and only.
Send it.
If he's reading,
no flubs. Send it.
If he was reading, that is way more impressive.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If he got a script, memorized it, and then
someone
did
called
that,
John Hamm. Call John Hamm or Billy Bob Aston.
He might be the greatest actor in history. That's his first scene. He's crying. He's telling the stories. Big pop on the way out there. Natural. That felt like to me. They told him, hey, go do a little Jerry Jones in there.
Explore the space.
Do the deathbed thing.
Come on.
You don't think that was it? I am certain. Because if he read a script and did that,
holy shit.
I think that is.
It was his life. Now, if that was him, being a basketball coach, then okay. Taylor Sheridan.
That's why it was so easy for him to remember it, D-But. That's why he could remember it so well.
He's 90. He remembered the last 90 years.
Well, you guys did say that his last media scrum, he did not.
We watched it literally 4 minutes before we watched that clip, and he was just just babbling. Just didn't say anything in 5 minutes.
The part that Seed read was when he said, sit here, lay here. Like
whenever he was talking about
for a second.
regret. Whenever you're going to be on your deathbed.
I'm not saying he didn't draw from his own personal experiences. They say that a lot.
Like
That's probably how he got to cry. He started thinking of Steven and his other kids. But they were probably holding cue cards with size 500 font right in front of him. Read it.
Taylor Sheridan is also a family friend of the Jones family for about 20 years now.
So that's definitely Jerry's lines.
So, yeah, in that part of the script, though, everybody else has lines. Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm, they all have lines. But then it just says Jerry, and then it just says
Vamp.
Free ball. Jerry.
Jerry doing Jerry. That's what they're saying.
Doing Jerry.
And then they told Billy Bob and the Hamaconda, get in where you fit in, boys. Remember, you're on the deathbed. You're close. Let Jerry do Jerry. Now, that's what everybody's saying. Jerry, go act. Go explore the space.
Yep.
Maybe the Cowboys will have a winning opportunity. We will continue on TikTok, YouTube, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. I think we got it in.
Hey, we're going to get answers from somebody. I mean, come on.
We got him. This is from a website what is this website? We don't know what this website is. Wallace confirms the scene was unscripted and happened because of Sheridan's long-standing friendship with Jones. Taylor just kind of said, we're going to let Jerry Jones do his thing and tell this incredible story from his own life, Wallace says. And I think everyone on set that day was floored by how genuine and vulnerable he was when he delivered it.
Wow.
It was a pretty powerful moment.
Wow.
Thornton had a front row seat to Jones. One and done.
What fucking done.
Just like we fucking said. That's what I thought.
Color me shocked.
What is this? What is Variety?
They're
lying.
corrected.
Variety's lying.
Wow. I said color me shocked, but that also goes to show there is no reason he should sound the way he does in those media scrums. If he's doing that on one take, he should be delivering fucking just bullets.
They shoved that COVID in his mouth.
I know.
They get all those microphones and phones. He doesn't have the answers yet. The guy just got done taking a piss. He's 90 years old. They just lost. Let him go up to his seat. Instead, he walks outside and they got ping pong. Guy wrapping around here.
He's clearly with it.
He gets a little bit discombobulated.
That goes to what Troy's saying. Like, this guy's got no fucking plan. This guy's got no idea what he's doing anymore.
Fair point.
Like, if those are his media scrums, and then the whole McCarthy, hey, you can't interview with the Bears, but we're still going to fire you in a couple days. Like, he's got no fucking plan. He has no idea what he's doing anymore.
Hey, just like Taylor said, we're going to let Jerry do Jerry. Okay?
That's wild. That is wild.
If that's the case, he honestly might be thinking, like, all he's thinking about is the Golden Globes. That's all he's thinking about.
And that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Jared, they need an old white in a lot of movies. And they can draw from you so you can draw from your own life experiences. Go ahead. Go all in over there, Jared. You're a movie star. This guy's a movie star.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what. Hey, we had faith.
I mean,
Let the record state,
Never a doubt.
Jer, we knew that was all Jer, because if it wasn't, like, you want to talk about like acting and talent,
Incredible.
If that was somebody else's words, and they're like, "Hey, need you to cry at this exact point," that's you're giving him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I think you're giving him a lot of credit. So him telling his own story. Now, I love the success we've had with oil and gas. One and done.
Send it.
No flubs.
Yeah.
You got enough cameras on this fucking thing? Yeah, we even got the shot over the shoulder whenever you're talking to Billy Bob. Sweet. And then he walks off with a punchline. Oh, my God.
Wow.
People said Jerry don't have a fastball anymore. You're fucking out of your mind.
Wow.
That guy's throwing.
And acting.
Yeah, when it comes to acting, he's throwing 100 on the black.
He just needs to act like an NFL owner.
Yeah.
They should tell him that.
All right, let's get to a break.
Reframe it.
Yeah, tell him, hey, your next role is an NFL owner.
You own the Cowboys.
Yeah, you want to win a Super Bowl.
Holy shit. All right, first things first. We need to fire Mike McCarthy.
Coach Prime. I mean, that's what would happen in the movie.
That is what would happen in the movie.
1,000%.
Or Witten.
Yeah.
That'd be a zany off the wall hire.
They can't do
Do you think
that.
Jerry Jones doing zany movies? I don't think so.
Maybe. That'd be a good twist.
Jason Witten is not getting the respect that he has earned on the football field, on the gridiron.
One of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Of course. Why? You're saying he can't be the next Dallas Cowboys coach?
I'm not saying that. Talks the table certainly
No
out
fucking chance. No chance.
I mean, he just said, "Whoa" to one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Yeah. I mean, how many greatest tight ends of all time are there?
Well, it depends on what your number is.
5?
Yeah.
No way.
Handful?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in the top 5.
He's in the pantheon.
Dallas
He is.
tight
Yeah.
end. Greatest Dallas tight end. For sure.
Okay. All right. He's in the pantheon of greatest tight ends of all time.
Better than Mike Ditka.
I mean, I can name. I
He had
can
a
name 10
long
off
run,
my head.
man. He had a long run.
Jason Witten was so good at
He
football.
was.
So good. And he played forever.
People forget how good he was at football. Played for the Raiders. People forget how good of a football player he was strictly because,
Yeah.
you know,
He actually had to come back and play for the Raiders because he was so bad in the booth.
which wasn't fair. We didn't think it was fair to anybody.
Well,
Then Witten said, I'm not doing TV anymore. I'm doing football. Played football, did good. Then goes down to a high school in Texas, state champ.
It's not easy to do.
Not Texas. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater gets an opportunity to run the Dallas Cowboys too. He won in Florida.
Yeah.
We got Texas high school state champs, Florida state champs.
Hire him in Miami. Teddy.
You're getting ready, crystal ball. You speak Spanish.
No, Miami Dolphins.
Oh, you're saying the Miami Dolphins?
Bring him on.
John Gruden's on the radar in Miami.
Gumpy's been pushing
Gruden,
this.
Dallas. Have Jerry really flip the script. Hey,
Yes.
give John Gruden
Now
the
we're
gig.
talking.
Like, John, you got it. You bring in your people. You do your thing. I'm going to step away.
I will be bummed out if we don't get John Gruden on the internet every single weekend, though. I would like to let the world know that.
cool.
Hey,
That has been a great addition.
Great.
So
tell you what,
To
if
the
he's,
internet, dude.
if he's coach of the Cowboys,
He's awesome.
he will be on the internet every weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Fair
right.
point.
Be on national TV, which would be
He
good.
loves ball. John Gruden loves ball.
I'll tell you, man. He is. Every thought is football.
Yeah, legit.
I didn't even know, he was in Bloomington the same time we were. We weren't able to link up. He went by Kilroy's, I think, to buy shots for all the students. I believe is how it was described.
Try to catch him.
That was the only time we were going to be able to kind of cross paths with the way the weekend was. And I decided, I can't be going in there. That is game day. Who knows? With Gruden, who knows? You know what that whole thing goes. So I missed him in Bloomington, but that was a reunion, for that Holiday Bowl. Gruden's dad coached for Lee Corso back in Indiana. So he grew up kind of in Bloomington, Indiana. But that I guess I didn't know. Of course, Gruden's been around ball his whole life.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally his entire being, pretty much, is football. That's why he started the Fired Football Coaches of America, because even when he wasn't in football, he's like, I need football. And that's a guy if you're looking to turn a culture, you assume, how do we do it? Let's get a guy who is obsessed with ball and has had a track record of winning. Now, granted, got to keep him away from the emails.
Sure.
No doubt.
And speaking of, whose coaching tree last night's two head coaches came from?
Who's?
Jay Gruden, but broadcast didn't mention it.
What?
Over there at the
Bullshit.
over there at the
Believe so.
The artist formerly known as the Washington Redskins.
Where he was sitting on the sidewalk smoking cigarettes.
Native American style.
Living.
I remember that. Was he shoeless too? That was
I
awesome.
believe so.
Oh, yeah.
Slices off.
Anytime you end up
Who's
shoeless
that?
out there, it's a thing. So Sean McVay versus Kevin O'Connell tonight, huh? I hired them both. Bet I don't get mentioned once.
LOL.
And you didn't, Jay. And you didn't, from my understanding. I was fast forwarding. I had muted it. I was fast forwarding. I did not hear it.
I didn't.
That's who these teams need to call.
Jay?
They want to. Yeah, they look. Hey Jay, who the fuck
Bingo.
should we hire to be our next head coach, our next OC, our
Maybe it
next
should be
DC?
Jay.
He might have put together the greatest staff of all time when it's all said and done.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up all the storylines happening around sports. There's some big ones. Hey, there's some big ones.
Huge.
Sports are happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hockey. Have you guys seen?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen?
Connor Bedard just scored his 100th point.
Already?
Dangling, dog.
19 years old.
Basketball, have you seen?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Zion, they're saying.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen any basketball come across my feed.
Yeah, maybe.
Are they still playing?
Pacers plus 7.5
What
tonight
happened?
at home against the Cavs.
Let's go. Tyrese Halla back.
The Miz was talking shit about the Cavs yesterday.
Oh, yeah, there was a little bit of a bicker.
Pacers just beat the Cavs, too.
My point, exactly.
Yeah.
He had a Cavaliers thing on. I go, hey, how are the Cavs this year? Really good? He goes, best in the league, does this whole Miz thing. I go, Pacers beat them last night. So? That doesn't mean anything. They have 6 losses on the whole season. What was one of them? Was it last night? Yeah, so? Such a yeah, so guy. I walked away from the Miz 3 different times. We were having conversations last night. It just happened. Like, there was just things happening. And Miz, first time seeing him in a long time, he gets off the Miz Express. He goes inside. You know, his boss has Miz Express on the side of it, his face. It's awesome. Goes inside. I see him, but I'm heading somewhere, you know, to go do something. So it's quick interaction, Cleveland Cavaliers thing. And then I'm like, yeah, I got to go. You know, so I just walk away. He goes, you just walk away from me. You just walked away from me. And then he walks away, and I'm like, hey, somewhere. Next time, I'm literally on my way out of building. Miz stops, though, has a sweet tux on.
Always.
I'm like, God, you look good, brother. What do you got tonight? He starts telling me, you know. I'm like, all right, good luck. He goes, you walk away from me again. You walk away from me. I'm starting to fucking think you don't like talking to me. I'm like, I just got somewhere to go. Oh, I'm so busy. The whole thing. He's electrifying. Everything about interacting with the Miz is awesome.
Always.
Every single part of the interaction. The information that's coming out, the greeting that is coming out of his mouth is awesome. The contents of the conversation, always awesome. And then however the fuck it's going to end is going to be entertaining.
Every time.
Every single time. Even in a bus, he'll be like this to someone. What? What? Yeah. There's no way around him. He was holding court on this bus with 10 people. Nobody's like, now you can't leave. And we were in the Miz experience.
He got robbed by Sami Zayn last night.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Sammy
gonna,
what? I don't think that's his name.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn is, I guess you could say he's kind of zany.
Pretty zany, pretty wacky.
He's kind of zany, isn't he?
He had a hell of a kick. Call it the haluva kick, which I love. And one on the Blue Thunder bomb, which I could knock it out. Kept calling it the Thunderdome.
That's tough.
This is the Thunderdome, of course.
He's no Penta, I'll tell you that much.
He has no pen.
Whoa.
I was told not allowed to say anything about that, but it was the whole match.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
He's a fucking weapon.
Dude, how about him coming out the way he walked?
Yeah.
That was my first time experiencing the Penta in the arena. It was electrifying. Cut a promo afterwards, half in Spanish. Still no idea what he said.
Loved it. The
Big
crowd,
pop. Big pop from the Spanish-speaking crowd in the audience, though. Wish I could have enjoyed the inside joke, okay?
Sure.
Actually picked up Rosetta Stone just so I can maybe catch the next round of Penta talking.
Smart.
It was a moment when this dude came in the whole time.
Second greatest luchador of all time, they say.
Ray Mysterio, number 1. But Ray told me, hey, wait till you see Penta. You know, gave me a full-on.
Ray knows.
But there was a lot of conversation about what I'm allowed and what I'm surf walking. Love that. Love the vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet fit.
Great Ohio State guy.
I don't think that's for Ohio State there on the back. I think that's a little bit different operation. But OH, I'm sure.
It might be.
Thank you, AJ. No ducks in the
Shin
pocket.
guards. I like the shin guards.
Well, those are pads, obviously, for whenever somebody tries to kick him in the shin. He's not going to be able to do that. Utilizes the entire ring as a weapon. Used the bottom rope as a slingshot last night for a leg drop.
Sick.
That was sick. Hit the Mexican Destroyer. Obviously, the Canadian. So as soon as he walks in, he does it. Yeah.
Right away. Let him know.
Hey, so
Couple times.
This is kind of his thing. Yeah, we're just going to stay away from it. All right. Okay, I bet we are. He was electrifying. And then Chad Gable as scumbag. What a perfect guy.
I know.
To let Penta
He's
come
great.
in.
He's great.
He is great.
He's an Olympian. Have a little respect, please.
Star.
A little respect. He's jocked.
Absolutely jacked.
Perfect matchup. Perfect matchup for Penta to get a big-time win. I'm getting a call from Dallas Clark right now.
Yeah, bingo.
Legend.
He's on the list above Witten.
Can we mute this, please? Can we mute this, please?
Hey, I'm currently.
Sure, it's going well. You guys are all muted, right?
Come on,
What's Debo
Hawker.
doing? What are you doing over there, Debo?
What are you doing over there, Hawker?
Debo, what's happening? Sign language, what's happening? Diggs, who you rooting for in the national championship? I see your sweatshirt. Well, because your wife's family is from there, I believe.
Don't let him get away with that, Hawker.
I get it. It's all right. Plenty of Notre Dame fans. I love Marcus.
Not this week.
Here we go. Family. Yeah. Shout out to your old coach, Notre Dame. Bry Kelly. Is he saying Dallas is rambling?
Yes, he is.
He's probably got a plan to fix the Colts.
Oh, no, hire him as the head coach. Tell him Dallas is awesome.
You see, what happened was I told him we were live, but I didn't tell him it was muted. So he gave a like a full, well-thought-out answer.
Good answer.
But by the time I realized he was in the middle of a very well-thought-out answer, it was too late to unmute it because now you're missing the context of the entire setup. So that's 100% on me. That's user error. But what Dallas said is, I give leniency on the booth thing. I will never hold that against anybody because he said he tried it one time and he was terrible. He said it's hard.
It's tough.
It is not an easy thing at all. He said he loves Witten. Love that dude. Love how much he loves football, all that stuff. And then at the end there, he said, I still think Prime's probably going to end up in Dallas. Think it has to be somebody that knows the building, is what Dallas Clark said. You know, that's one of those jobs where you have to know the building. I think he's probably painting the same picture as the rest of us. Excited to see what Jerry does down there. He needs to act like an owner, just like he acted like Jerry Jones in Landman.
Touche. I agree. Act like an owner. That's your next project.
Do it. Have fun.
Did Dallas have any thoughts on Penta?
I didn't ask. Fuck. I don't know if he saw Penta. I'm going to send him a couple of the highlights. He was all over the place, man. He did an inverted Hurricane Rana from the side.
That was sweet. While Gable was on
Has Caboli done a write-up yet?
And then how about his Penta driver?
He's a dog.
He is a dog. And they all, obviously. So a lot of people, I think, that are like kind of, WWE fans, but don't follow along with everything else. Like Penta has been dominant, AAA, I believe, down in Mexico, and then there's Lucha Underground that was happening there for basically every AEW. He was on there for a bit, obviously. Like every wrestling promotion other than WWE, he's been on, and he's been very successful and very beloved. So that's why whenever he signed with the WWE, it was an impossible thing to keep like a secret because everybody was like, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And last night he even acknowledged like how much of a dream. This is called the sacrifice, where he just breaks a guy's arm.
Oh,
shit!
No.
Yikes!
Stop that!
Hey, I don't know if you saw it right before.
Don't show that.
I mean, that was the whole.
I didn't know that's where Kittle does that for his first down thing. I didn't know where that's. Now I know.
Yeah.
All the dots are connected.
Oh goodness!
Yeah, that's the Penta driver right there. It was a hell of a show. It was a hell of an experience in there last night. San Jose's crowd was awesome too.
The right crowd for him to make his debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 22 times WWE had been in that building. There's some like wrestling cities that are like mass. Pittsburgh's considered one of them. Indianapolis, WWE always comes through. There's cities like throughout the country that they always hit because they're big wrestling, and they always have been, always back, all the way back to like the territory days. Like, hey, this place loves wrestling. It's generational and everything like that. San Jose's fan base is, I think, a very, very loyal wrestling fan base. So I think it was good. Great time. Lucky to be there. Michael Cole doing his thing all night. Didn't get up on the table and eat.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I figure too old to be doing it every week again on the table.
Yeah, I remember his phone gave a life alert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've taken a very hard fall.
Are you okay? Seems like your heart's beating a little bit. Are you okay? And he said, I'm eating. And his friend was like, don't be doing that.
It's too much.
Keep your ass in your seat. Let's get to a break. Dallas Clark was on the show. Great to see him. Couldn't hear him, but you did see him.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking.
Legend.
He was giving a full fucking answer. It was a great answer, too. Great analysis.
Would he coach? Would Dallas coach?
Seems like he should. With what I just heard, with what you need, I don't know. I think he's farming right now. I think he's actually farming right now.
It's cold.
Of course he is. Of course Dallas Clark's farming.
Without a doubt.
Workhorse.
Dog.
He might be the head coach in waiting in Iowa.
Oh.
Never know. We'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5.
Tonight is a night where everything's going to be remembered. Every play, every sweat, every fight.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Know as a child back in the womb.
Hey, let's have a national championship Monday, huh?
My name is Pat McAfee. I've started this show 2 different occasions already. This will be the 3rd. Wow. It's 2023. We eat adversity for lunch. There's just so many different forms of gummies coming in my mouth.
Boss man, can you do a kickflip? 100 for it? 100 for it? Oh! Come on, bro. That was awesome.
Hey, this little teddy bear is cool. This little round thing is sweet. All right, I feel pretty good for this ESPN party. Let's go have a blast in there. Boom. Need you to do a red carpet. I've never done a red carpet before.
I got to poop, sorry.
I don't know if now's the time.
We're invited to the ESPN party, and now we are all sitting on a red carpet. We had no idea this was coming, obviously. We thought we were just getting some free drinks.
A lot of people on the internet say I look tired. What's that all about? I'm a massive fan of Posner. He was getting motivational speeches in between songs. He was playing other people's songs. He was telling people, stay down. We're going to make a moment. Only on the count of 3, we're going to go crazy. Oh, I know. Sad song. Sad song. Oh, yeah.
A couple of these. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Who's up? What do you want?
What'd you do?
Gotta make it back again, baby. It's gotta last until 9 o'clock.
Happy birthday, sack of shit.
I'm so fired up to be here.
Yeah.
I got a necktie and everything.
Holy shit. Tim Tebow's here. Oh my God.
Look at that cut.
The most handsome shot in our show's history. Nick Saban has been spotted at SoFi.
Great work in the back, Foxy. The boys crushed it. Now we got game day, then the mega cast. Let's go. Hey, let's have a night.
Obviously, the enemy of great is good. The enemy of a dynasty is winning one championship and letting it go. Fran, you're obviously going to Colorado, a place that's been looking for some sort of championship for 20 years. You're also one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. What are you saying to your team?
You can't get here and all of a sudden change. You don't want to see a different mannerism of somebody, and especially the coaches. See, everybody's talking about the players. But you got to coach the coaches, too.
Did you smile there, too? Were you smiling?
I saw a smile.
I do that every now and then. The rat poison, smiling. That's embedded fourth quarter perfection. Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter perfection. Big moments, Tebow perfection. We got some real magic here tonight, don't we? And I love that toad that takes those mushrooms and hitting their With that being said, Stetson Bennett's 25 years old. He's so damn comfortable. Darnold Washington's the backup tight end. He's 6'7", 270. Brock Bowers, best player on the field. The defense full of dogs. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs go back-to-back. First time since this man and his Alabama squad. I love the Bulldogs tonight, barking all over the place, Coach.
Here we go, huh? A little bit of rush from old game day down to the field.
We went all the way to the roof to come back. We are so sorry. All right, let's roll. I gotta get to the sleep. Then I'm gonna hop over the sleep thing. Good, Brad. You are
are looking at SoFi Stadium, where we'll be crowning a national champion for our college football season tonight. And the Dogs are on the board early. Wide open.
That's the shot that they wanted, baby.
Oh, that's embedded with his second touchdown in the first half. Pick.
Oh, no.
Georgia's first down.
One-handed touchdown.
Brock Byers, touchdown. It is currently 45-7. It is 52-7. Touchdown.
This is just a good old back home ass whooping.
It's a blowout, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o. That son of a bitch, Uga, is having the night of his life.
Wow.
It's raining indoors in Los Angeles. This is God taking a tinkle on something magical, isn't it? Let's get
Get him on camera.
that mustache.
Holy smoke.
Holy smokes.
Are you a firefighter?
Good for you, bro. Thanks for your service. First down, Horned Frogs on a 2nd and 3. Why don't we call a game? Holy hell,
There he
Tim
is.
Tebow is
He's
coming.
coming.
Tebow, we're live.
We're on.
We're live right now. Welcome back to SoFi Stadium. Right before the break, an extra point almost killed Tim Tebow. Natural instincts had to take in place. I could not lose the greatest human on earth, and I'm happy they gave you that ball, Tim. Tone, act like you're Sonny Dykes, please.
All right, boss. First half didn't go our way. We're doing this for the great state of Texas. You know who else was down 31 points?
Who's that?
The Italians.
All right, let's take the tractor another round. What are you watching out there, Coach?
Honestly, they're better off grabbing Luka Doncic out of the crowd and maybe lining him up next to Quentin guys in that receiver. Because they can't do a damn thing.
We decided Tebow here, formerly known as praying for this TCU team to do something. So you put your hands up, play that song, butterflies fly away. Thank you for your service, sir. You're a badass, man.
Those other Americans, I wouldn't be here.
What a run, huh? The boys crushed it. This shake you.
TCU sucks. He's so mean all the time. What?
That's all she wrote for college football season. What a year. Let's fucking get home.
This guy sucks. This guy's the worst of all time.
Almost.
Timmy.
Corbin, that was good.
Who's the worst we've ever seen?
Hey.
I think you're nervous in front of Bob Dylan.
No.
I think that's probably.
No. One more shot. One more.
You want the Texas guy to get one more kick? All right, how about this? Kirk Herbstreit said he'll match another $200,000. I will as well. This is an $800,000 kick, Corbin.
Yeah.
This guy's got no shot.
Come on, Harry.
Come on, Herbie. Timmy, you want a match?
Yeah, I'll get in there too.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Is that 1.2?
Yeah, it is.
$1.2 million kick. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Let's go.
Everything just got very real all of a sudden. That first attempt was god-awful. But now you got a $1.2 million operation. All you got to do is kick the ball through those uprights. This looks shorter than 33 yards. Stanford.
Is that legally binding?
Yeah.
That's a legally binding offer.
Yeah, we got you,
You're
Timmy.
the lawyer, Corbin. Is that a real offer?
Yeah, it is. It's on camera.
It is? Okay.
Hey, bro, somehow he got under that ball.
Yeah, he said it was like a 9-iron. That was more like a duff of a wedge, bub.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try to maybe bring out the 1-iron.
On one hand, we've never seen
1.2 million.
Come on, Corbin.
1.2.
Holy hell. That's a lot of money. You're a lawyer, you live nice, you wear suits, but 1.2 million can change a lot of things. On SEC Championship Saturday in Atlanta for $1 million. That got pretty expensive quick stuff. Thought we got hustled. Bob Dylan coming out on Christmas. The movie's supposed to be Oscar-worthy. Thankfully stopped by. Herbstreit's awesome. Reese, that got a little bit of nerve-wracking there for a few moments. Back to you.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me. It got real tight
up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over at Liz, didn't you?
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know. Let a naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
Wow. Pat, I talked to you about it before the game. Texas 108th red zone offense versus the number 2 red zone defense.
108th in the country at 130. It doesn't show up till it shows up. 4th and goal in the 4th quarter for the Texas Longhorns. Quinn Ewers, fresh off the 4th and 13. Jack Sawyer, give me that! Strip set from Jack! He scoops, he runs! Jack Sawyer, touchdown!
Wow.
JT2, Jack Sawyer in this Buckeyes D. Put a punctuation mark on this Cotton Bowl. Montgomery's going horns down. Taft's trying to fight him. And the Ohio State Buckeyes have taken a 13-point lead because Jack Sawyer is an absolute problem. Mitch Jeter from 41 yards to take the lead. In the semifinal, it's true! It's true! Mitch Jeter! You're that dude! 27-24, 7 seconds left in the Orange Bowl. Mitch Jeter has come alive during the college football playoff, D-Bunch.
Never a doubt for Mitch Jeter. Kicked it through the tight draw.
Great snap
through
from
the outside.
Great hold by Salerno.
Wow.
Pure stroke from Mitch Jeter with the entire world watching him.
Seconds, please. 8.
They do move the clock to 8 seconds, just like we thought was going to happen. Because it was a 40-yarder, 4 seconds off the clock. Notre Dame, after a massive pick and a couple of great plays, have taken the lead with 8 seconds left off of Mitch Jeter's toe. What a classic here at the Orange Bowl.
Probably the most interesting trade was the Randy Moss trade. After the draft, the first day of the draft, we've been trying to trade for Randy Moss for 2 months, all like childbirth. I mean, it took forever. After the first day of the draft, I talked to Mr. Davis. I said, are we going to make this deal or not? And he said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for your 4th. And I think we were picking like 7th in the 4th round. I said, well, we got to get the guy in for a physical. We can't take his contract. We're going to have to renegotiate his contract. And Mr. Davis said, well, that's your problem. If you want to trade for him, then you get it done. I said, all right. I call up Randy. Hey, Randy, this is Coach Belichick. Boom. Hangs up the phone.
What?
Let me try this again. Randy, it's Coach Belichick. Who is this? Who's pranking me? Who is this? Boom. Hangs up the phone. Randy, this is Coach Belichick. We traded for you. What? Is this a joke? This better not be a joke. Who is this? No. This is, all right. Really? I said, yeah, but look, we got to get this done by tomorrow at noon. He goes, all right, what do I need to do? I said, you need to come up, take a physical, and we need to renegotiate your contract. It's by noon? Yeah. He goes, well, I'm in Houston now, but I got a plane. I'll be there.
Nice.
He flies, and he's there at 8 o'clock in the morning, comes in and takes the physical. You know, the old,
Yeah. Make sure he's live.
Okay, you're good. Renegotiate the contract. We're done at 10 o'clock. And first thing he says to me is, where's the playbook?
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, right here. He said, okay, because when I walk out there with the first team with Brady, I got to know all the plays. I can't go out there and make mental errors and screw up. I got to know his offense. And he was smart, man. This guy was smart. On this post-safety coverage, what are you going to do? He goes, Coach, you ain't going to see any post-safety coverage against me. Like, oh. He goes, you're going to see cover 2. We haven't seen cover 2 in years. He's like, you're going to see cover 2. And he was right. And then he would say, well, here's how I'd run this route. Here's how I'd run that route. And I started thinking, like, we got to start giving Randy some routes. We're running this, and they play cover 2. How we can move him into the slot. He's like, move me into the slot. I said, yeah, so you can get in the middle and cover 2. He's like, all right, good. 25 touchdowns.
So many.
Yeah.
Opens up the running game, too.
I'm telling you, it was Randy, come on, man. I'm trying to.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP. Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this super wild Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is wonderful. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Great hat, Con Man.
Thank you very much. Yep. Team Moss Cancer, baby.
Hey, Randy, let's go. Let's keep kicking ass. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tony's here. Play like a champion today. A little bit of bias maybe there from Tone Day.
No, it was a gift given to me this holiday season by my family. Well, my wife's family, my in-laws who live up in South Bend. So, felt like a right time to wear it.
You were the mayor there of South Bend for a while, you remember?
Him and Pete Butt.
Right.
Hell yeah. I forgot about Buttigieg up there doing the transportation in South Bend. And then you were heading up there every weekend. Wasn't Tone heading up there every single weekend?
Yeah, seeing his constituents.
Yeah, going to talk to people. Love the South Bend area.
Yeah, it's a great area. I wanted to support my friend Marcus Freeman. Didn't matter where he go to college. I'm just going to support him where he is now because he's my friend.
That doesn't sound like that's a true statement, what you just said. And we would like to view Marcus Freeman as a friend of the program, although I'm not 100% sure because I've picked against the Irish every single time I've got an opportunity.
And
every single time I've gotten the opportunity, I've picked against them. And they have won. This is just like what happened with Michigan last year. Feels like the sentiment is very real from the Notre Dame fans. Don't you even fucking... I got some good news for you. I got some good news for you. But I do love what the team has done. That particular hoodie right there, March 17th, you cut the sleeves off of that thing.
Perfect.
That is a St. Patrick's Day dream hoodie right there. And 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here. D-Bucks, you see the L rep that's on the screen right there?
I do.
Let me tell you a little bang! Dove Men Care, whole body DO. Foxy, why don't you go ahead and zoom in on this bottle, because this whole body DO is something that is absolutely special, maybe to your surrounding area. You wonder to yourself, well, back in the day they had Axe.
Sure.
Axe was like deodorant, but it acted as if it was a cologne. You could always tell who the grimy dirtballs were because they smelled like more Axe than everywhere else. You walk into a locker room, all you smell is Axe, and you can think to yourself, hey, boys, we know you smell like ass when you put Axe all over the damn place. Well, I have some good news for you. This whole body DO doesn't just make you smell like you walked out of an Abercrombie & Fitch or a Hollister. It actually combats the body odor that you have coming out of your terrible pores. Now, you might have to deal with smelling like shit, okay? That is something that I think is potentially genetic and passed down and traits. Maybe you smell like ass. Maybe you don't focus on your hygiene as much as everybody around you would hope. And maybe you have a friend that is around you that smells like absolute shite on a daily basis. Why don't you go ahead and just accidentally drop one of these into their lap? Whole body DO from our friends at Dove. It is fantastic. You pop the cap, obviously, and you just got magic right there. What's it smell like? Magic.
Wow.
What do you smell like? Somebody that's clean. You don't smell like somebody that's trying to cover up your problem of being a dirtball. A smelly piece of shit.
Sure.
It smells like somebody that's combating what they have going on. You're actually getting better while using our friends, Dove, and their whole body, DO. Do you boys smell it over there?
It smells wonderful.
Wow. Fighting BO. One ass crack. Armpit.
Right.
Toe crack.
Right.
At a time.
Ground.
From your friends at Dove.
Love you, Dove.
Love you, Dove.
Should be a small caveat. Still got a shower.
Yes, this is for on top of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is not a shower pill.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice.
That's
nice.
This is not a shower. It is.
We get some of that.
Hey, it's got a pretty good. And also, the spray isn't like too much. It's like a good spray. Yeah, look at that spray. I mean, that's certainly not how you're. Oh, let's not be inhaling this, boys. Let's not be huffing the whole body DO. But let's certainly understand that there's something out there after you shower and clean yourself that'll combat you smelling like absolute shite from any orifice.
Yeah.
Because it's not just always the armpits. Everybody's like, hey, here's armpit deodorant. You need to wear. It's like it's not just there. How about whenever the whole swamp starts cooking?
Oh, yeah.
How about whenever the socks have been on a little too long?
Yeah.
Sure.
How about no socks on? Just showcasing it to the whole world.
The nutsack on a hot,
Free-toe?
sweaty.
Boom.
Boom.
It's privates to feet. Boom.
Spraying that right all over their cakes,
Whole
right
body.
their hole.
Yeah, cake it up.
Dio. For men with BO. All it takes is a couple squirts.
That's nice.
And you're back in the game. Did we know that this is what Dove was going to be sending us?
No.
No, mine looks much different.
Did we think it was going to be?
Bar soap.
I think it was going to be a bar soap or a body wash. 1,000,000%. This thing pops in. It's like, holy shit!
Game of shit.
I am so excited because it's easy. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Some people think, well, I want to, it'd be weird.
It's in my butthole.
I'd be weird doing it. You doing that? No, I'm not doing that. But you got a stank grundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't want to put my armpit stuff with my grundle stuff, and I definitely don't want to do my foot stuff. And it's like, don't you worry about touching nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to use your face trimmer with your private trimmer. This one's a spray.
Bingo.
Boom.
Popping tops.
Boom.
I got a little bit coming through here.
You smell that?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, watch out for your face.
Other way, Jason.
No, don't eat it.
Put your arm up.
I don't know if you want to eat it. It's not toothpaste.
Yeah, don't open your mouth.
Everywhere. It's safe for everywhere.
This is not mouthwash.
No,
Not safe for your mouth.
Every orifice, I thought.
All right, we need to stop.
Still got to
Except
brush
for your
your
mouth.
teeth.
And your eyes.
Just like you're disrespecting people with your BO in public that can be combated with our friends from Dove, with their whole body DO, bro. We're disrespecting all 75,000 people currently watching live on YouTube right now. It's way too many people. We apologize for doing everything we just did and wasting your time, but we would like to let you know this spray
Scan that code.
Yeah.
is efficient.
What flavor is that one?
Flavor? Oh, you're not supposed to eat it.
Scent.
Okay, thank you. This one is aluminum free. Obviously, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about
The aluminium is not good
Huge.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's how the Brits say it.
Bingo.
1, 2, 3 times I heard that, and I said, wow, that's how the Brits say something, and I say it a little bit differently. This is has shea butter and cedar with vitamin E. Okay.
That's good for your skin.
Cedar?
Yeah, there's a little bit of cedar there, and whole body odor, and it targets the source of body odor all day. This is just a one applier.
24 hours.
That's the goat.
Dermatologist tested non-irritant formula infused with vitamin E, because every once in a while and then it starts.
Exactly.
One of these.
Bingo.
Got spray tan one time, whole body got infected. Rash,
Never
whole
good.
body.
Wasn't good.
It wasn't. It was not fun at all. It was actually one of the worst days, weeks, probably a whole week. It was just whole rash because of spray tan.
Look good, though.
Spray tan was pretty good on my face, but everywhere else was just a rash.
That's
Really
shite.
itchy. I had to do the oatmeal thing, the oatmeal bath thing.
Yep.
Ugh.
That's not what this is doing.
No.
This is doing the complete opposite. It's making you feel good.
Exactly.
Vitamin E in here. Vitamin E, you know what that does, Age. You want all the vitamin E you can get because vitamin E
Does everything that you need for your bod. Shea butter is legit too.
And cedar?
Cedar, yeah. I thought I maybe caught a little
I love
sandalwood,
cedar.
so it makes sense.
My body
Sandalwood. I got sandalwood things that keep the mosquitoes away. Sandalwood smells
Oh,
great.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sandalwood?
Sandalwood
Ain't up to no
smells
good.
great.
Sandalwood.
It smells like an Arizona night.
Sandalwood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sandalwood.
Nighttime.
Got it. I thought you were saying sandalwood.
Like sandal.
It's kind of a good little phrase as well.
That is what you guys were saying, yeah. Bang.
Use it.
Fight BO with Dio. No matter where you stank from. Thank you, Dove. Welcome to Thunderdome, Dove.
Love you, Dove.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Dove.
Can't wait for their ad agency to watch that one. What was the copy? What was the,
Just read it.
that's all. Just know it's making the world better. Boys are already using it. Thought it was going to be soap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will have to buy.
Using
We will
that
have
too.
to buy the soap for the Thunderdome. Thought we were getting that.
We were, yeah.
And once again, that's without conversation. I had no idea this was a thing. I was just pumped to get into, a partnership with Dove because their soap does make you feel like Dove. Like
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah.
Their sprays. I got one in my backpack. That looks like the newer one. It's one that I've had for a while.
Yes, it's new.
It works.
Yeah, it's very good.
Couple days.
The smell is phenomenal. And also, I sprayed it, and there's no puddle there, so it's actual mist as opposed to something that's going to pile up on your.
Like you spray it in the morning, maybe, and at the end of the night, before you go to bed, before you do a nighttime shower, maybe you'll say like, "Oh, let me see if my pits smell." With that Dove spray, for shoot, you can still smell that scent at night.
Tough feeling whenever you're amongst people, and you smell,
and you know.
Did the whole elevator with like 15 people the other day. Try to stay away from those situations.
Mhm.
But whenever it's big rush, a lot of urgency, everybody needs to be on right now. I don't think you four do. Yo, we do. Are you sure that's like a 250, 500 pounds right there? I don't think needs to be on the elevator. Yep, needs to. Okay. And then there's a scent of someone smells like fucking ass.
Yeah, shite.
Yep. And then your first thought is immediately, can't be me.
Please, no.
Please can't be me. Then you try to get to it, in a natural way. How do you? Somebody smells like fucking ass in here.
Yeah.
And it's not me.
That should be acceptable, though, to do that. Like, when you smelled that, you should have been like, Jesus Christ, who smells like shite in here? Like, we should be able to start doing that.
I agree.
Yeah. Take the stigma out of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to.
No, you don't.
There are answers. This is just like drunk driving, okay? Never been acceptable. Now more than ever, the fuck are you doing? Okay, with all the options that there is. What are we doing? At a much less serious, but still irritating level. Nowhere near as much, but you get it. You don't have to smell anymore. You don't have to ruin the society.
Bingo.
Bang. Dove.
Still very serious. If someone smells pretty terrible, whether their body or their breath, you're not hearing what they're telling you. Like you can't communicate very well.
I didn't even think about the amount of disinformation and miscommunication is taking place because of how shitey somebody smells. I'm sorry, my ears aren't working because my nose works. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And now I hate you. Now I hate you.
Hey, can you go back to the beginning? Where are we?
I didn't hear anything you said.
Send me an
You smell
email.
like shit, so.
Have you ever heard of bang? Top men's care. Whole body deal.
Good smell.
It's pretty good smell.
Great smell.
Great.
Still, we've been spraying the shit out of this. Still a lot left.
I'm surprised you haven't passed out yet.
Me?
Yeah, a lot of sprays.
Brother.
It's aerosol.
I was born in the dark.
It's aerosol free.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's
here we
also
go.
aluminium free out here.
What do you want it to smell like shit in here?
I mean, how many things did I just make smell better? At least a dozen. I mean,
So many air particles. Boom.
if there was a BO problem right here, gone.
Yeah.
Forever.
Vanished.
Get over here, Bill.
People still say, Bill, thank you for using whole body DO. It has been an obvious difference in our lives. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate you. Bill's a bodybuilder.
Bill's a good smelling human being. He's not a bad smelling human being.
He is, and he's becoming like a body. Working out with the bodybuilders,
Guy's jacked.
that is a full lifestyle commitment.
Yeah.
And the bodybuilders are trying to be as attractive as possible. Like that is the whole purpose. There's a little difference to Bill, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Little mustache jock to Bill.
Have they started working on poses yet?
I don't know. Have you started doing the?
Yeah. He's at least watched YouTube videos.
In private.
What are you doing? Are you doing the one that they wear the board shorts on? I think that's kind of fake. I don't know why they do that as one. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, you gotta go.
That's like the fitness like the fitness part of it or something. They'll wear shorts and maybe they're not as juiced. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's also the all natty ones. I've seen a couple of these because people that I've played sports with have gone on to get into this world, and then they post on social media, and I just kind of watch along. The one with the shorts, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know. I mean, I understand some people are just born with smaller legs, so they want to still be able to get absolutely jacked. But that one, getting introduced in my life, was brand new. There's bodybuilding competitions where they're wearing board shorts.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but it could be like Foxy's legs on somebody that gets like obsessed with it, and there's like no chance to make those things.
All genetics.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, you're not allowed. And with the body
Sorry about it, you said?
Yeah.
Sorry about it, yeah.
Not allowed.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I think it brings in the small-legged people. There's the all natty, and then there's the super. Is there like a super juice and then the kind of juice crews? What are they?
I mean, like the Olympia, if you're going for Mr. Olympia, that's like the pinnacle of what you want to be.
And that's super juiced, right? They're doing everything.
I mean, those dudes are absolute freaks. Yeah, like I was in the era growing up, like high school, college, we're getting Muscle and Fitness magazine, like Dorian Yates, 7-time Mr. Olympia. Like those guys were my heroes.
What was that gym in Ohio? It's a very famous gym.
Are you talking West Side Barbell?
Boom. Yeah,
Louis
I watched a
Simmons.
documentary on that place. It's in Ohio. They followed, not that I would ever have enough work ethic to show up there every single day. I don't at this stage of life. Maybe at 18, I think you could have caught me because of what happened at West Virginia going through a barless workout. I think watching things, I think the maximum amount of effort that you have to give for the entirety of the time that you're in a place is certainly something that maybe I could have done. Now, too comfortable. Sheets too good, pillows are too good, would not be able to do it.
No thanks.
But watching these documentaries, some of these, and Bill might be one of these guys. He's only getting into it more and more and more as the years roll on. It becomes their entire.
Oh yeah.
And they become hardened. Those fucking dudes in that
It becomes a great addiction. It's like a good addiction for people.
Every meal, every sip, every moment of their day is kind of calculated and mapped out, and then they're just trying to just move in weights.
Those guys aren't clean.
Oh shit, there he is.
There's Bill right there.
That was all natural.
There's Bill. Bill doesn't have the spray tan.
Ronnie Coleman. Okay, Ronnie.
That's on the right, but
I like how he still does it with his hat on too.
Well, that's the
spray
thing.
tan, Bill.
Some guys wear shorts in some different levels.
Yep.
He wears a hat because the vascularity on his forehead is actually considered illegal in the competition.
right. That's his big clothes.
Yeah, because it's too much. Yeah, he takes it off with just a head toss like that, and then they show the vascularity.
Yeah.
From
Pops
front to back.
Looks like a rhino.
I'm impressed by the amount of dedication and commitment you need. And they'll say, well, they're on a bunch of juice. It's like
they're working their balls off.
Still got to go.
A quarter of
He's
it.
still got to
Starts
go.
tomorrow, brother.
the juice certainly helps. Okay, the juice certainly helps, but those things aren't just going to grow themselves, brother.
No, it starts tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. We're starting tomorrow.
Boom!
I had an egg McMuffin this morning. It was so good.
Always hits.
So good.
Governor.
You're right. I'm acting like a deacon right now. Shout out to Coach Herbert. Hell of a season over there for the Chargers.
It was a good season.
Great start.
Yinzer, legend, icon. Hey, people are using the word jag-off now in committee hearings and things like that.
Really?
Where?
I believe the word jag-off was just mentioned on in the political world.
Were they in Pittsburgh?
I don't know if the guy's from Pittsburgh. I have no idea. It was...
Just that Pete Hegseth deal where he's at, right? Or Pete Hegseth, he's trying to get become whatever it is, Secretary of State or whatever he's getting.
Well, you know what it is. You're trying to bubble around to act like you're not. What is he? What is happening there with Pete?
What is he? He's trying to get sworn in, right? Or he's trying to get approved to be the dude.
Okay, so...
Defense Secretary.
I believe Defense Secretary.
Defense Secretary,
Okay,
yeah. I saw Tim Kennedy tweeting about people getting kicked out for yelling and stuff.
Okay, yeah, a lot of protests around these types of things throughout the years. I do believe anytime somebody's getting put into a position of power, the people that don't appreciate that are going to have their voices heard. Ask America. Now how it goes about happening is kind of a part of it. But in the line of questioning, how it got into my feed is because he was quoted as calling somebody a jag-off, I guess, at one point. And somebody from Rhode Island, I believe, a Democratic, what would that be? Those things, senators,
Congress,
whatever,
yeah.
congressperson,
Committee chair,
representative,
whatever it is. So we explain what a jag-off is? And Pete says, I don't think it needs to be explained. I think people know. And I'm like, I hope jag-off just becomes a thing now. Jag-off is a great word. I don't think we use it enough, to be honest with you. And that's probably because we just ran through it as kids. Jag-off was used as everything.
Yeah.
Don't be a jag-off. This guy's a jag-off. Showed up late with the food. This fucking jag-off. Everybody.
I was introduced to my freshman year in college. My defensive coordinator, Todd Orlando, Pittsburgh guy.
Don't be a jag-off.
Don't be a fucking jag-off.
It can be used in so many different ways. So imagine Pete trying to explain all the different ways.
Sure.
Well, if somebody's late for something, it could be considered jag-off behavior.
It's also how you say it, the tone with what you say it.
Yeah, it was in an actual mad jag-off. Like, are we going, is this a real deal? Disrespect just happened. Or was this jag-off? Just cracked a joke that, was pretty clever and pretty solid. I don't know how to describe it to you, sir, but doesn't need to be is what he said. And I love that, Yinzers are kind of getting a little bit more love. Maybe they win a playoff game. People will appreciate it more.
Maybe. Holy shit.
Oh, shit, dude. Oh, shit. Artie Smith, Russell Wilson have a good working relationship.
Is that what they said?
Tony Dogs.
You don't believe it?
He did use a certain...
What?
That I had, like past tense, like one of these two guys aren't going to be here.
No, they were asking about how the season went, and they said, this is just like when Kevin O'Connell says, when I look back on this season, I'm going to have great memories with Sam Darnold. Everybody's like, it's over, it's over. It's like, no, they're answering questions about how the year went. I think that's an A-OK answer.
I just don't know if Artie and Russ are two peas in a pod.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. I saw George Pickens shows up late stuff, games included. He's making some big-time plays in some high-profile games. Russell Wilson's dancing around the pocket, showing up dressing cool, making big-time plays, starting to get a handle on the offense later in the year.
Things are going to look pretty different.
Yeah.
At all levels.
All levels.
Devontae Adams was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams and was asked if he would play for Tomlin. He said 100%.
Yeah, him and Aaron.
Aaron has both said that.
Yeah.
Big Mike McCarthy's out there still?
Uh-oh.
Hold the phone.
Could you fathom Mike McCarthy, offense coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Devontae Adams is wide receiver. What are you doing with Artie Smith? You're just kicking him out of the building?
He's going to be the New York Jets head coach.
No, he ain't. He's coming home.
Aaron Jones is a free
Or it
agent
could
too.
be-
You might as well bring him in.
Artie Smith cut his teeth.
His best years
With
as an offensive coordinator.
With Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm. 1 seed.
Mustaches only maybe up there.
Yeah, ring a bell.
What about McDaniels?
Yeah.
Because Josh McDaniels, friend of the program up there.
He's a UNC.
It's a very hot job to have right now.
Oh, you're saying people are clamoring to get back to New England?
Sure feels like it.
I feel good about Vrabel up there.
I feel great about it. And McDaniels, I didn't realize this till yesterday when Schefter said it. He's still getting paid from the Raiders for like 2 more years.
How about Russ? Russ still getting paid next year from the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
So he's still potentially taking very team-friendly deal wherever he's playing quarterback at. Maybe he's with Kevin O'Connell next year.
Oh.
There you go. Is JJ not going to be healthy?
What?
McCarthy.
He'll be back.
I don't know if he's a quarterback. Has he been in the building? I personally, if I'm running Minnesota Vikings, which I'm not, I'm very okay with JJ getting a year watching someone, just like he was probably supposed to do this year with Sam Darnold, watching a quarterback be a quarterback through an NFL season, personally. Now, if all hell goes, and takes place, then you do what happened in New England, which I think they're planning on Drake May watching.
Yeah.
The whole year. And then it kind of gets so bad that they're kind of forced to put him in there. And then you learn how great he is. I think that is a benefit to the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you miss your first year. Just coming off of what we're coming off of here in Indianapolis. Because how much was he in the building? How much did he see? How many of the ups? How many of the downs? How many of the off days? How many of the work weeks? How many of the schedule? How many of the arrival? How much? All that shit. Handling teammates. How to handle the media. How to talk to coaches. All that shit. Being a pro. How much did he get? I don't know because I don't know the situation. But I assume they're planning on doing a Sam Darnold-like situation again where they get a veteran quarterback at a lesser amount of money and then have JJ kind of do that.
They got one.
In Sam?
Dan Jones.
Yeah, because he was sitting there on the sideline. I was thinking, are they putting Dan Jones in this game?
They might have won.
I was watching that game. I was literally watching it, half asleep, and I'm like, are we about to get fucking Daniel Jones with the Minnesota Vikings right now? Could you imagine he goes in there?
Wins.
Goes absolutely off. Just starts running all over the place. Rams defense, oh shit, we could never guess somebody who's going to be able to run like this.
Didn't game plan for this.
Daniel Jones going into the divisional round. This guy's going to get paid $50 million a year. And instead it's like, Sam Darnold, this guy can't do it. How about he said he'd pay him 3 years, $100 million, Sam Darnold?
Insane. Couldn't
Pittsburgh
believe
Steelers
it.
said that. AJ, did you hear that?
Was that what Schefter said?
Tone Diggs said he would give Sam Darnold 3 years, $100 million deal.
That's what Baker got for having the exact same one single season.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you give Russell Wilson that deal?
No.
He's older. Russ is older.
One's 27, one's 37.
Baker beat the Eagles.
What's that, buddy?
I mean,
Baker beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
If we're
Talking
looking
about the year before?
if we're looking for a quarterback to take us to 10-7 and lose in the first round of the playoffs, Sam Darnold's our guy.
Is that what you want?
Do it for 3 years.
No, that's just what we're gonna do. So.
Oh, okay. So we don't know what your feelings are, your projections on what the Steelers' operation is going to be.
I don't know either.
They did just pick up Skylar Thompson, so maybe, he's pretty
Holy
good.
shit.
Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah,
They're already back to work.
He was very good for the Dolphins this year.
They're already back to work. Tomlin said it. He said, I'm already back to work. I'm ready for next year. How about all those things that I put out? I did a little pitch presentation deck on the graphic, all the re's. Yeah. Every team has to do that, but what, 8 now?
Yeah, that bummed me out.
Start with 32, counting down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those. Look at all those things. So much has to happen and go right for you to win. What the Patriots did for 20-plus years, absurd. What the Chiefs are doing right now, insane. And if your team's good right now, you should enjoy it. Because there's so much shit that goes into literally every single offseason, AJ.
You have to you have to enjoy every part of it. That's like what Mike Tomlin said. Like, he's ready to get restarted. Like, it's true. Like, when you say restart too, does restart mean April when they come back for the offseason workout? Does that mean the end of July when you start training camp? Because you are still so far away from actual real football. It's like overwhelming to think how much you have to do just to get back to have a chance to try to be a good team next year.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers just signed a quarterback today. You know, I mean, this is happening right now. This is all happening in real time. And in some places, they don't even have a coach yet. Deion Sanders is going to be coach of the Dallas Cowboys. At the beginning of the show, I thought, no way. Now at the end of the show, maybe I got caught up in the ESPN lab, sports media kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it does feel like a movie.
It just makes too much sense.
For everything they're looking for, too.
Yeah.
And Jerry would love to flex that he hired Deion Sanders, especially if he ends up to be a great coach in the NFL, which is certainly possible. Now, with the Dallas Cowboys, is it possible to be great? We shall see. But like Jerry, Jerry would love to be the guy, you know.
It's a Jerry Jones move.
I hired not only Coach Prime to play football for me, which he was a fantastic Cowboy. Prime, please tell him who started your NFL coaching career, please. Ask Jimmy the same fucking question, please, whenever he came out of college to come to the Dallas Cowboys. Please do that thing. I have an eye for talent now. People know. Nobody gives old Uncle Jerry credit for the eye for talent that I have. Sure, we haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time. We might have come short. But not this fucking year. We're going to do it with some flash, some pizzazz, some prime time. Every week, prime time would be awesome.
Yeah.
Would people hate prime more or less?
More.
Immediately.
Without a doubt.
Immediately. For sure.
Really?
No questions asked.
I think it depends if they get Shadur or not. If they don't get Shadur, I think less.
I agree with that.
Shefty said this morning on his podcast there's absolutely no way they're trading Dak Prescott. I mean, obviously.
What is that, $106 million or something?
Yeah, he's just said there's no way that the Titans are going to take that on because they would presumably have to trade up to number 1 to get him. He said if Deion takes the job, it'll be on the Cowboys' merits, and he's just going to have to accept that he's not going to be coaching Shadur.
Okay, so Colorado, he has all to say. Dallas, from what you just described, sounds like it's going to be obviously in Jerry's world and how he's going to have to do it. That's probably a very tough decision. That's a very tough ultimatum because what he has done at Colorado, he's flipped an entire community into a football community again. I think he had been for a long time, then obviously disappeared for a while. They're all the way back. And every time I say they added a stadium, I guess their fans get mad. I mean, they updated everything that they've had. That Jumbotron's bigger than Lucas Oil Stadium has over there. The season tickets, obviously, the merch, everything, the attention that has been brought to that beautiful place. And we were lucky to go there.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
And we never went there if Deion Sanders is not the coach there alongside her. Beautiful place up there. What were the Flatirons? Is that what it was called? What was the?
I believe it was the Flatirons.
Yeah, the foothills of the Flatirons.
Foothills of the Flatirons down in there, and we're in there. The Rock was there. I mean, that was a magical moment. If he was to leave, people in Colorado would obviously be pissed. A lot of people in college would say, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. What college coach wouldn't take the Dallas Cowboys head coaching job?
Bingo.
Well, legitimately.
3 of them. Lanning, Kirby, and even then, maybe they would.
Who wouldn't? I don't know.
Yeah, if offered, would any of them turn it down? You'd have to really think about that.
And then all the people that are going to dance on it and be like, he's leaving, just like we said. It's like,
That's what happens.
It's a pretty big fuck up. That is like one of the Mike Tomlin. Whenever he was asked if he was going to go coach USC, he said, "I'm the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This chair is like one of the most important ones in the world in our profession." So no offense, basically, but no chance is that even happening. In what world is anybody having that conversation? I think that Dallas Cowboys job, now I know Troy says it's not very coveted, but Sarkisian gets offered the Dallas Cowboys job. We think he's going to take it?
Yes.
I think it's coveted to Deion as well.
What's that?
It means a little bit more to Deion.
Since he played there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
And this opportunity may never come again. If they hire a guy who's great, guess what? He's it's not like he's one of these other guys who's 37, 38 years old, and if they fail, they're going to have a couple more cracks at this. This is probably, you would think, this would be maybe his only opportunity to go coach in the NFL.
What was the quote? It's intriguing, he said.
Mm-hmm.
When Jerry calls, it's intriguing, obviously, but I love what we're doing here. And then Schefter said the way it ended was he asked him if he knows what's going to happen, and Prime said, I don't know. So I think he didn't even think this was going to be an option. I think this kind of... When it happens and it starts kind of taking place, he probably hadn't even really... I assume he had thought about what an NFL team would look like if he was coaching it. I don't think he thought maybe the opportunity was going to come with the Cowboys. I mean, the whole coaching cycle came and went. McCarthy was still there, assumed to be there. Yeah. So it's how many different teams would Prime even consider being the head coach of since he did play with the Cowboys? And how much is he actually like contemplating right now the entire process? I assume a lot. That's a heavy.
I would assume. I mean, it would be, almost idiotic not to. I mean, he's always said in the past, like, I don't know if I'm built to coach with like rich people or grown men, making all that type of money. But now the way the college landscape is, shit, they're making money. You're coaching those rich guys too, but now they're just 19, 20-year-olds instead of 25, 30-year-olds. So definitely intriguing. I would be interested to see. So I'm kind of like you. Like I'm like probably 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
And maybe coming into the weekend, I'm thinking like, nah, that won't happen.
10% maybe coming in the show, I'll say. 10% of it happening. Now, 50-50.
Yep.
Maybe Coach Brown's going to be down there in Dallas. That's going to be an awesome press conference. Remember what Jerry and Mike McCarthy did when they launched their last relationship?
Yeah.
It was fireworks. I can't even imagine what Prime. The shoes that are going to come out of this?
Yeah, it'd be electric.
Oh, my God.
The content?
Can Jerry just hire Deion, or do they have to abide by the Rooney Rule and interview a white dude?
I don't think that is a part of the Rooney Rule.
It's just for minority coaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So you thought the minority rule was we need to interview somebody from each race.
Yeah. Bingo.
That's an AP voter.
What about like the Asian folks?
Yeah.
What
Bingo.
about
I think that if
the
we
Latino folks?
Yeah, I think we should be doing it.
You said we need to increase the Rooney Rule.
Yes.
A lot of people are calling into question the Rooney Rule and its effectiveness. You're saying we need to add more to the Rooney Rule. I don't think a white needs to be interviewed.
Okay.
I don't think, from the way the Rooney Rule is currently stated.
Okay.
Rob Mayo got hired in 10 minutes.
Yeah, written into his contract.
Yeah, but they might have interviewed Kraft's kid, I guess.
Harry?
Sure.
Oh,
behind
Jonathan?
closed doors.
Jonathan.
To knock out the white interview.
Or
I think that's
Bon
what the
Jovi.
Rooney Rule was put in. They were worried white guys weren't getting enough interviews. I think that's what it was for, right? I think that's
More
what
opportunity.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Not enough white guys getting interviews. Got to make sure we have that. Could you imagine the NFL added that? Oh, my God. The internet would be fantastic. All right. Before we get out of here, I think we got to do a giveaway. Bailey McComas, he's too jacked to do any of the sports.
Yeah, he is.
Could happen on the court, so I would not be asking him to.
40 reps, 225.
Yeah, go squat 500 pounds.
Hold on. Tim Tebow, we made a deal. He said 225 30 times, right?
Yep.
Isn't that what he said?
Yep, that's what I heard.
He's going to
He
do.
said he might be able to get 34, he believes.
Yeah, he was like pretty exact, which means he's tried, so he knows exactly how many he could get. He is a monster. He was, when I brought it up during the Field Pass Altcast on ESPN2 whenever he was there, great talking to him. I said, hey, I heard you were in the gym this morning, 3 hours. I heard, because it was the ESPN hotel. So there was like 3 different groups of people that did their workouts and exited that saw Tim Tebow in the weight room. Now, I'm not saying all the groups that were represented are having full hour-long lifts, but I'm saying 3 different groups said, hey, saw Tebow in the weight room this morning at this time. They leave. Somebody else said they were in the gym, did not see the first person that talked to me, but did see Tim Tebow. And then another group, I'm like, did you see Bang Bang? They're like, no, I didn't see them. Tebow's still in the gym. So he outlasted 3 separate workouts from 3 people that I talked to, and they all felt obligated to tell me about the workout too. Like, he was fucking getting after it. It wasn't just like, this wasn't like a hotel workout. This was a fucking, he was getting after it in there. It's like, it makes sense. He is.
Jacked.
He's jacked.
Fucking, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's wide.
His back is built like a Texas Longhorn.
Yeah,
it is.
Like Bevo walked by and it was like, that's what fucking Tebow. What is he doing? Is he doing bodybuilding? What do you think he's doing?
He lifts heavy. He looked at me like he got offended when I asked him about if he's doing high reps or something. He's like, nobody wants to do reps. Like, I'm just lifting heavy weights. Like he's in bulking season at all times, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, you guys had your little meathead interaction. I do recall that. And he was upset with you.
He's so big.
He's gigantic. Legs too.
Yeah.
I mean,
his legs are huge. Like, that's the thing. Like, Timmy, top to bottom, is in great shape.
Yeah, he is. And I believe he and his lady just announced that they're going to have a child.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Steve.
Oh, they're going to. I thought they maybe just had one.
No, are going.
Oh, that was the announcement
No,
of
it was
pregnant.
the sonogram or whatever it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sweet. So the way you read it was not how I read it, but could have been true. That's why you saw my reaction there to get a little bit further of a check. Congrats to them on conceived. I mean, that's obviously a massive ordeal. I assume that baby is going to be so athletic. Just a Tebow through and through. Congrats to the couple.
Hell yeah, Tebow.
We haven't met Mrs., right?
No.
Never. I wonder what she thinks of our shit whenever Tim's on the show.
Certainly didn't like it when Hawker called him a prophet, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he did not like that. I had to circle back.
I love how he just powers through.
I had to circle back.
Like we're not even talking. He just went right past whatever question or whatever comment we throw at him.
So Sam, NFL fan, obviously lives in Indianapolis, so loves sports and stuff. Didn't follow as closely, like ESPN and stuff back in like 2005. I said, Sam, you have no idea who Tim Tebow is. I said, ESPN actually revolved around Tim Tebow and LeBron James. That is a matter of fact. Anything Tim Tebow did, breaking. Tim Tebow took a 4-wipe shit this morning. People are wondering if his diet had changed because normally he's a no-wiper, as you would assume. Now back to insert whatever. That was Tim Tebow for a long time, right? Wasn't it? Legit.
Absolutely. Remember, he signed with the Patriots for a quick minute, and I believe he was on the Jets. There was like a video of him running shirtless when it's raining after practice.
Dude, he signed with the Jags when Urban Meyer was there a few years ago, and it was still massive.
He was playing tight end, wasn't he? Yeah, he was playing tight end.
Then he played baseball. This is him playing tight end with the Jags. Obviously, his biceps are going to eat the football. I mean, at this point, he was in the middle of bulking season. I'm not 100% sure he was ready to be back in football, especially at a position he had never played before, but fuck it. I'll give it a go.
Athlete.
He goes and plays baseball later into his athletic career. It's like, so every time he comes on, I feel obligated to remind him of who he is and let him know that, like, hey, listen, we experienced what you did, dude. It was awesome. Yeah. But I don't know if everybody knows that that's who Tim Tebow is. I'm starting to realize. I think people need to remember.
Swamp Kings helped. I remember when the Swamp Kings documentary came out, people were like, holy shit, Tim Tebow, the ones who didn't know and lived through all this.
He's a real deal, brother. Yeah. He would give these speeches as if he was either a preacher, pastor, Jesus Christ, or a head ball coach. All at the same. And the one he said, you're never going to see a team fight harder, work harder, come together, blah-blah, and then they never lose and he win a national championship. It's like, this guy. And then you meet him and it's like, oh, this is actually who he is all day, every day. Loves Jesus Christ.
He does. His Lord and Savior.
Amen. And I'm happy. It's gone to great places. They changed praying to Tebowing.
Yeah.
I had to remind Sam of that. Sam, taking a knee and praying? That was called Tebowing.
Yeah.
I don't think Tebow loved that, by the way.
No. Put it in the dictionary.
He didn't mind the fact that more people were praying, though.
No.
Why would it? That's that cool stat with the Broncos now.
More
Only
Percy
QB
to listen to.
Drafted by the Broncos to win.
Last quarterback, right? To be drafted by
I think only.
Only ever?
I thought so.
Yeah, because Elway was drafted by the Colts.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not playing here. What was that all about? I don't like that
He saw the
bit.
writing on the wall.
Baseball
Maybe
player.
he's a prophet.
Got great car dealerships.
Yes, he does.
Fucked up that deal, though.
Completely off track. The fact that Nick Saban's just moving 1,000 whips a week or a month down in Miami and then in all these other cities is so awesome. He just flies in, has his meeting with his team, gives a motivational message, then he's out of there. Another record-breaking month for...
Crazy.
Like, think about him actually leading, like, business. He does. He, like, goes and speaks to all these businesses he's a part of. And he's a great businessman. He always gives credit to the guy that he does work with who pitched him on the original idea. But he's, like, very invested. Like, very much flies down, checks in, wants to build a relationship, wants to motivate, and then he gets out. Obviously, it's profitable. It's good business. But on the other side, I think he just, like, leading. Like, I think he likes, doing all... It was a cool year getting a chance to watch Nick Saban work this year. Legit. Like, just listen to him. The amount of knowledge that just accidentally falls out of his fucking mouth. Just, what was that one? Just trying to pick it up. Like, genius, this guy. Leader, when you talk about it. Through and through. Walks the walk. Obviously can talk the talk in a great fashion. And he is benefiting. He was at a golf outing, I think, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He loves golf now,
I
right?
did see him golfing yesterday.
Golfs 3 times a week.
He was striping the ball, I heard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Best round of his life.
That's what he does. That's what he does. I don't know which round you're talking about. He plays 3 times a week. I do believe it's a big deal. I think there is a little bit of a sandbag situation. He always talks about how bad he is.
Sure. He does.
Anytime we start talking about playing golf, he's always like, well, I'm not that, I'm not that. I think he's trying to... I let him know every time, like, I suck at golf, coach. Like, if we were to play, you will beat me. I want to let you know that. Yeah, we'll work on some things, He loves golf.
Got a nice swing.
Great
I
swing.
a couple pro-ams.
Played college baseball.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Oh, I saw him swinging in
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, there'll be times we're over on the Still don't know the name of it, but the one that has the grass where I almost died with the things on.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I have the big pointer thing. Mm-hmm. So there'd be times where I'm like, it would be Reese is either voiceover a video or a commercial break, and we're sitting there, and I'll just get bored naturally because that fucking pointer, so it's a huge thing. So I'll just start doing a golf swing, you know, and then all of a sudden he'll be like,
change your grip and how you're swinging.
He's like, need. And it's like, this is literally during commercial. Reese is talking. We're all mic'd up, so we can't say anything. And I'm like doing this. And he's like trying to get attention. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, all right.
What'd Scotty tell you?
It's not gonna, whatever your natural swing is, don't ever do whatever that was. Don't ever do that again. Okay. So I started,
Whatever feels good.
Right here, right? What is that? Don't ever do whatever that was. Oh, I'm trying to get it. Whatever's just just do whatever's natural.
Is he playing tonight?
Foxy, you started doing that, right?
He is not.
Yeah, I went back to my natural swing, and who would have known? I'm hitting so many more greens out back than I was before.
Yeah,
You start messing with stuff.
Wait,
it
what
just
would you
screws
do
everything
if you're not swinging your swing? What are you doing?
Coming out of the pocket. Yeah, you watch Instagram and
Turn your
YouTube
wrists
videos,
over.
and you go,
Oh,
I want to
okay.
try that, and then you're
I gotta
done.
stay dumb.
Yes.
I'm staying really dumb.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of what Scotty. That's basically what Scotty. Scotty and I had a 15-second conversation about my golf game, and I think I got it fixed.
Sure.
Basically, he was like, whatever is natural, just do that. And I think what he said on top of that is like, see how the ball flies and then fucking just adjust.
Yes.
Because whatever your natural thing is like, oh my God, you make golf so easy. It's like when Bill Belichick starts talking about, football. It's like the smallest, easiest thing. Just do that. It's like, that's what I took away from my convo with Scotty. Now, to your question, Tone. I don't believe Scotty's playing tonight, but Tiger's playing. Tiger's playing tonight.
Scotty's not a part of it at all, I believe.
Well, that's...
he's new
Scotty should
father.
launch his own.
He's a new father.
Who's on Tiger's team? This is the TGL situation.
Max Homa, I know, is on his team.
Kim,
Kisner
I think.
is on his team.
Oh, okay.
You got the Tears of Jupiter taking on the...
Who's that?
What's that?
What's the name?
Kevin Kisner.
It is Jupiter Links, not the Tears of Jupiter. Jupiter Links
Tears
Golf
of
Club,
Jupiter.
and then it's the
What?
LA it's the LA Golf Club. Is that guy in a Corn Ferry? Okay, he's losing. Is that what that guy is? Who's the guy with Corn Ferry?
That's
Sahith
Sahith.
Tagala?
He's a good player.
Oh yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, he's very
Really
good.
good.
He's sponsored by the Corn Ferry.
I guess. I don't love that they got a fucking Brit on the LAGC though. I don't know what that's about.
Far left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Justin
Rosie.
He's been in LA. Guy.
He's electrifying though, is he
can
not?
Oh
hit
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Collins is
Who's far right? Big face.
That's
Looks like he
Kisner.
hits the ball well.
Kids.
Kevin Kidd.
That's Kiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
Kisner.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Kisner's
You didn't recognize
that
him?
is Kevin Kisner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
guys,
fucking
that's
he's gotten younger somehow. I did not know that is Kevin Kisner. I love Kevin Kisner.
It's hard to recognize without a 30 rack of beer in his
Bingo.
hand.
That guy is a good time. Okay, I'm pulling for them just strictly because of the vibes. Obviously, Tiger's on the team.
Sure.
He's getting sued. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Wow, your little Tiger
yeah.
looks a lot like what we have been doing for, I don't know, 50 fucking years, pal.
Who's suing him?
That was the first thing I thought of when I saw the
Yep.
logo.
Puma?
Yeah.
No. Take a fuck.
I see it everywhere. People are wearing that. You can't
Pumas?
keep it in the shelves.
Excuse me, Tyrese Halliburton is
Yeah.
Puma King, and I also learned he's listed as doubtful for tonight's game.
Yeah.
I was actually picking the Pacers because he was playing. Turns out he's probably not playing. But Puma's not happy with the way that Tiger's shaped, so people are going to get confused.
Oh, there's Sunday red, to AJ's point, all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, same with
Everywhere
Puma.
I look.
Same with Puma. It's almost a battle. Who can see one in the wild first?
But Tiger is going to the right and the Puma's jumping left.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, they both are at full extension, though, because that's the most maximum power. And obviously, you'd want a Tiger at maximum power and a Puma at maximum
Also,
power.
it's a Puma. It's two different
How long?
animals.
Jungle Cats, certainly.
Yes.
But, I mean,
I don't hate it though from Puma. Just throwing a line out there. Say shit, we might win this thing. Fuck it, let's sue him. Let's see what's
And
going
give
on.
people, give some pub to Tiger's
Yeah,
company,
I
too.
don't hate it.
this might be a work.
It could be a work.
This might be a work by Big Red to buy Big Puma.
Exactly.
Jungle Cats unite. Could be.
We don't know.
Bring a little spotlight to both brands. I like that. Town, you got all this Sunday, Red. I never see you wear any of
A
it.
bunch of it. Well, it's not golf season.
Will you wear it?
When it's golf season, yeah.
Oh, certainly. You're going to walk out on that first tee.
Yeah.
You ever seen one of these? Puma? No, asshole.
Sunday red.
To the right.
It's Big Red.
Dave Butts got some too.
Oh, yeah.
Golf season.
Love it.
Hey, Q wore some in here, right?
Yeah.
Great
You
quality.
got that $800 hoodie?
Yep.
Yeah, spend
It's
like
shite,
$5,000.
guys. It's absolute shite.
Oh, that's fine. That's
I
his
mean, the
own
Nike
opinion.
line with Tiger Woods was the greatest golf gear of all time. I don't know what happened, but we need to bring that back.
I don't. It sounds like Puma's starting to maybe move in on the action.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always good. But you're right. Nike and Tiger, I mean, I think changed golf history.
One and the same.
Yes.
So whenever we heard he was going independent, we thought to ourselves, we'll pull for him out there. Then I opened the website and I said, I ain't paying $2,000 for a fucking golf ball. I'm sorry. I don't have the time. They were trying to catch up to their earnings from a 20-year standpoint of Nike to just in the first go. This is what we need to return on this. We think if we sell 10 of these things at $15,000 a pop, obviously.
We're right there.
It seemed like a miss. I don't know. I assume they sold out. It's Tiger. Just like tonight, I'll watch because Tiger's playing golf.
That's right.
I'm a simple human being.
Yeah.
If Tiger Woods is swinging a golf club, you're probably going to see me watching it. And I'll probably be judging and expecting he's going to win the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
Doesn't have to walk, so he should.
Yeah, it's almost created for him.
No doubt.
TGL, Tigers Golf League.
Yeah.
Better be shit talking.
Yep.
If I know kids, just drink 7-8 beers before they head out there, and he's going to let it fly.
He's going to be loose.
Yeah.
Kids is going to bury a massive putt.
Yeah.
Early, I think. Get the vibes rolling.
Tarps off.
Oh, my God. Maybe they do end up shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about TGL having shirtless golfers.
Might throw a flag early.
Oh, if they're farmers tan, that'd be amazing.
They have the worst tans in sport.
Yes.
Forehead, bang.
Stewart Sink, by far.
Permanent.
Legend.
Yeah. All right, let's do a giveaway before we get out of here on this glorious Super Wild Tuesday. It has been super wild.
Super
It has
wild.
been super wild.
Super wild.
I mean, Deion's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, it might be the sage that was burning here, but I'm a believer. I think it's going to happen. I don't know if I should.
Mike McCarthy's going to be the OC of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Come back home.
Why not?
It's like
Arthur
Bruce
Smith's going to be
Arians.
offense coordinator of
Bingo.
New England Patriots.
Who says no?
Josh McDaniels, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Josh McDaniels has been done the do-si-do. He put his right foot in. He was the Colts head coach. Then he put his right foot out. I'm not going to be the coach because the owner took a shit.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Clogged out the toilet.
Potentially.
Wiped his ass with a hand towel.
Was it a master
wife's favorite.
bath or hall bath?
It was right there off the dining room.
I heard it was a master bath, and they even started to get the jacuzzi going. Maybe try to.
He was squatting over
bidet.
top. No bidet. All right. Tony, you want to do the giveaway?
Yeah, Tone.
That's the right move. I've
You-
been
you
missing
sound
a lot
confident,
lately,
Tone.
But if you want, I will.
Tony, you can't pass the giveaway, please, for the good of the people.
Oh, I
gotta
like
play
those
like a
Jordans.
champion
I like
sweatshirt
Jordan.
on.
Yeah. Throw like a champion.
Yeah, but
Go
also
throw
know
your
who
golf
you are.
gear on.
Believe.
What do you want to do, Tony? Football.
Putt.
There is an opportunity to putt. There are a few golf balls already in the holes. Shout out to whoever made those putts. I'm proud of them. Golf season's right around the corner. You're going to fucking take some strokes off your game.
That's right.
And it's the work that you put in right here. It's going to save your afternoons with the lads. Because you can go from being a good day at golf to this fucking sucks.
Worse
You missed
ever.
3 putts
Yep.
on every single hole.
Exactly.
That flat stick will get you. That's why you need one of these. Now, we have one of these, and none of us use it. I do not use it. I believe D-Butch gets in there every once
I
in a
got to
while.
get back on it.
Foxy will get in there every once in a while.
Sometimes.
JC uses it.
JC is certainly working on it.
Putting's not fun, man. Putting is not that fun.
Yeah, golf as a whole has become not a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, quit golf. So.
Because of how bad I've been. But putting was certainly my least desired part of golf whenever I was playing. I think I'm getting back in the game this spring.
Okay. Nice.
Now, is that because we're not doing a soccer thing?
Maybe.
Probably, if I had to guess.
I'm excited for you to get back.
And the golf?
Oh, yeah. You should get a scramble partner because I got one in this building and we're one in the power rankings right now.
What's that, buddy? Who is that, Foxy?
D-Bone?
Top.
What's going on?
What?
What'd you
Top
say?
plays golf?
Mm-hmm.
Was this goofball golf?
What do you...
I've played golf with Talk before. He plays exactly how you think he plays.
Okay,
Oh,
so
really?
he swings one-handed. I think it's a...
Eyes closed.
I think it's a wide base. I think it's a real wide base. I think we're only using one hand. I think the other hand's potentially just there to guide it.
Yep.
And I think he's making solid contact. It's
Solid.
175 yards right in the middle of the fairway.
Bingo.
Okay. Then he's stepping up again, and he's getting all... I think feet are facing the pin.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a
straight on.
a perpendicular. I think his feet are like this, and I think he does the same thing. Yeah, I've seen him. I've never seen him golf, but in my head, I just watched.
No, that was spot on. And then double bogey, triple bogey, you name
Whoa.
it. It doesn't matter. He's not phased. He just moseys on to the next hole.
Well, that was a tough hole.
Clutch.
That was a tough hole. Golf's hard. Then you go to the next one. Talk's the best. I was really worried about him whenever TikTok was about to disappear. Good news, Mr. Wonderful has been able to find somebody who could actually buy TikTok and tell them to buy TikTok, I think, is what's happening.
Oh, I thought Xi Jinping said, we'll sell it to Elon, that's it.
Yeah, so I think there's only a few people on Earth that have enough money to potentially be able to buy it. You know, if you think about what X went for, Twitter went for, it's like 40 billion, right? 48 billion. TikTok is massive, has the entire younger generation. So when Mr. Wonderful came out and said he was going to buy it, I was certainly impressed, but I didn't know how he was going to put a licensing deal together like this with Shark Tank to be able to get something that's probably 50 billion. I mean, probably, if you just think about the price.
And you got to monetize it too. I mean, I don't know how it is compared to Twitter and X, but yeah, I don't know.
Couldn't you lowball it, by the way, because you're losing half their users?
You should.
I think, I don't know how, I've never done business with China.
Sure.
I don't know if they'd be willing to take it rather than get screwed over in a deal. I don't know. I don't know what would they rather happen. But there's only a few people that could get up into that world. And I think Bezos is certainly one of them, but he's always on yachts doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he ready to run TikTok? Maybe him doing dances on there.
Yeah.
Will they let Elon have two of the most powerful social media platforms?
Now you're starting monopoly stuff, but if you think about Zuck has two of the biggest, right? Zuck owns two of the biggest.
Facebook's still up there? What are they at?
Facebook, yeah. I think he said, I forget the number. He just on Rogan, he said a lot. On Rogan.
I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, I saw it in clips. It was pretty crazy what he said.
He's changed.
Very crazy. 750, I forget the number. Grotesque number every day on
active users.
Yeah, it is a fucking absurd number. And then he talked about Threads having, I forget, 750 million, 250 million, I forget what.
Oh, okay, so I don't believe him.
No, I think that's yearly, not daily.
Oh,
I think it was like, I think there was a massive.
Just like
difference. Are they getting new people to Facebook though? Are new people signing up for Facebook?
I don't know. You know, every once in a while, I'll hop over there if somebody like posts a photo. Like I think it is
on accident.
Yes. Well, somebody would text me and say, "Hey, did you see blank on this?" And I'm like, I didn't know we were still checking on there. But then I'd go over there and I'd see a photo. It'd be like, I think that's what it used to be, more like Facebook, like checking up with family and like photos from a distance. But now like Instagram is kind of just taking that whole
the
department.
group like right above us, like a little bit older
Generational,
than us, like our like maybe aunts, uncles, older cousins, older brothers. That's that's the only time I get shit from Facebook. You see?
No, I see. I think there's some people like I don't know. Granted, I went to West Virginia and some of these guys live like in small towns, but I'll get a text from somebody our age that'll say, "Hey, did you see this on Facebook?" And every time I read it, I think I'm reading a different language. I think, is that? I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah,
and then I'll go over there, check it out. I think there's still a lot of people doing it. I think. I don't know. That's what Zuck said.
Yeah, I think my generation down is
not at all.
At all.
Yeah, so that's dead. Instagram.
I mean, I think it's older than that, Con. I think, I don't know. I don't know how many people in my generation.
Yeah, I don't think our generation.
It's like my parents going to check on what their niece and nephews are doing because what their parents are posting about them, or it's like random people ranting about something stupid about the trees not being trimmed in the front yard or something.
I feel like we're social media people.
That's what I mean. That's
We
why
are
it's
never on
surprising if he's saying that they have a bunch of people.
Yeah, but those olds might live on there too. You know?
Yeah.
That's why that stuff starts happening, which is why the Zuck situation was so. Yeah, monthly active users, Facebook 3 billion. Yeah. YouTube 2.7 billion.
Yes. Probably outside the U.S., it's got to be huge too.
Yeah, but YouTube also
Obviously.
gigantic outside the U.S.
Where's this from? Twitter's not on here.
Yeah, because remember, they say Twitter does not have anywhere near as many active users because it is a cruise and watch website as opposed to an active user site.
I believe that.
What's YouTube?
Okay.
They consider watchers, I think, active users.
Oh, so we got different rules for different places.
Yeah, I think that's like YouTube. I don't think YouTube is all the people that are creating on there. I don't think that's the amount of people that are creating on there. I think that's the amount of people that are watching on there. And then X, I think, is the amount of people that are active on there, like creators on there. I think that's how it's been judged. But to your point, that does feel like two very
X is 15th on that list there.
But is it just humans using site or active on site?
I think an active user is just someone logging on and visiting the site in that month.
Interesting, man.
A lot of young people don't use X like that.
Nope.
They're going to get there. They'll get there. That's the
Yeah,
one.
but the young people think, well, they don't use Facebook, so they just have all the old people are saying.
So
yeah,
the
but I think you get older and you get into these.
And
the
Facebook was
organic
the
traffic,
first,
though.
Like real. I mean, you had MySpace, but then Facebook became like the first big like social media.
Yeah.
Even like a lot of our stuff we post still goes on Facebook unless you like turn off that setting.
Yeah, we post on Facebook right now. I have not checked that out. I should go over there, see how that's going. Holy fuck, good reminder right there, D-Boy. Yeah, because they asked me like 40 times, would you also like to post on Facebook? And I'm like, I don't know which one. Like, I don't have the passwords for these things either. And they're like, Pat McAfee Show Facebook page. Would you like to post on there? Why not? Smart. Okay, I'll hit yes. And then they take a picture of my face. And they're like, yep, you're good to go. I'm like, is that even logged in anywhere? I don't even know how we're gonna get. But it's up over there.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Zuck. Zuck was in the middle of a lot of stuff, I think, with what he was saying in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he wasn't playing both sides in the moment.
What?
Whoa.
Why would he do that?
Jeez Louise.
I don't know. Why would he?
Let's do a giveaway. Let's not talk
He
about
seemed like a human at least.
It's a news up. Yeah, I agree, Adrian.
it. Yeah, he's doing jujitsu.
Yeah, he wants to fight. He wants to have like a jiu-jitsu match.
I'll wait for Cat Williams to make sure. We'll see.
He's got Jack Harlow hair, though. Did you see that? He's got that big.
Exactly.
I like the big poofy hair. He looks sweet. Had a chain on. He's doing jujitsu.
He's a chameleon.
No, I think he's a human. Isn't that what we're just
Shoots
talking about?
wild pigs on his ranch with the bow and arrow.
Definitely.
He's just living, evolving. He's becoming. He's learning.
Zuck's a dog.
It's like my grandma.
Zuck's got 3 billion people on his shit every single month. All started in a dorm room. And the Winklevosses, the Winklevosses.
Yep. Yeah.
Both of them.
They don't like it. They don't like it one bit.
Eduardo doesn't either.
Well, Eduardo should have made the trip, you know?
He should have.
Should have. You're right.
He's blaming everybody but himself. He
Shouldn't
needs
have
to look in
closed the
mirror.
accounts.
Yeah. And everybody else sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing your thing. We get it. Justin Timberlake really smart in that. Hey, drop the please.
Genius.
Please. Napster, what a run.
Yeah.
Napster, what a run that had.
LimeWire.
All right, let's do a giveaway. Diggs, you're
Yeah.
going to throw a football?
Or should I putt? Your guys' choice.
Oh, no.
No, it's your choice.
Waffling. We're waffling.
I'll putt.
Let's start with the football.
You'll putt?
Tony, throw that pigskin.
You putt.
Yeah, good
Do
confidence.
what you want to
throw.
do,
Well,
but I mean,
you should at least throw one. I mean, you got a ball.
Just said it wasn't golf season. I don't know if he
Come
can
on.
play golf after that.
Gumpy said your co-host said that you just said it's not golf season, so you're not going to do golf season.
Tonight it is actually.
Huh?
Tonight it is actually.
Oh, it is indoor golf too.
Yeah.
Which would be this exact case. He kind of checkmated you there, Gumpy.
Well, I want to see some Sunday red tomorrow then.
Yeah, I need to be wearing Sunday red tomorrow to really live the gimmick, is what Gumpy said.
I will.
This guy's going to walk in here dressed like $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
literally, yeah.
Shirt, hat, and sweats.
Yeah, that's right.
Diggs, all you got to do is put that football into that hoop right over there. If you're able to do that, 30 people will win $500 on this magical, super wild Tuesday. I'll take that ball if you don't like it. Certainly get a little fidgety. Boom, good throw. Yeah, it's a little flat. Obviously, the air's gotten a little cold. Ask the Patriots about that. Ooh, that thing was turning nicely. You saw that son of a bitch turning. It was turning where if it hit the backboard, that thing would have banked perfectly right into that hoop. Might have been a bank swish, which if it would have been, we would have had 50 winners of $500. But if you just make that thing in there, 30 people, $500, Tone, and you're playing like a champion today. No, not that!
Oh, you're right there.
It was a good toss.
All
Right
over
there.
it.
That was a good toss. Ty Schmidt, as Coach Lou Holtz actually has something to say to you. Play like a champion today, Tone Diggs.
Yeah, I'm just going to simply say quit pussyfooting. Throw that fucking pigskin as hard as you can to the backboard, and hopefully you hit it on one of the corners and it ricochets directly into the hoop, okay? I'm serious, son. I want to see you throw this thing as hard as you fucking can right now and try to put it into the hoop, okay? You either go balls to the walls 100%, or you can pussyfoot around and embarrass yourself by, coming up short. Decision's yours.
30 people, $500. Oh, yeah. All right. That was never going to go in, Coach. Almost took out the
you hit the backboard. You know, I said simple geometry. You hit the exact point right inside that upper right square. That's just
the upper right quadrant.
Exactly, upper right quadrant. You hit that exactly right at the right angle. It's gonna fall right into the hoop.
30 people, All right, we just fucked up that ball off of the bricks. Before you finish, Coach Holtz, we'd be remiss if we didn't run. Ryan Day of the Ohio State Buckeyes was asked if he and Coach Lou Holtz have buried the hatchet since the interview that Lou Holtz had with Lou Holtz.
Speaking of that, I'm just curious. Have you and Lou Holtz ever talked since then? Either patching things up or comments between you?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that's a lie, because when we were in Columbus, he clearly spoke to Coach Lou Holtz. AJ, you think Coach Lou Holtz knows that Ryan Day still wants a little smoke with what he said about that team last year up there at Notre Dame?
I sure hope so. After seeing Lou Holtz talk to Lou Holtz a little over on the set when we were over there, I hope we get this thing reignited, because I know Lou Holtz is ready. He's gonna be there, right? He'll be there at the game.
I would assume Lou Holtz is going to be here. He's probably leading the team out there. Yep. Coach Lou Holtz, what's your messaging about this Ohio State Buckeye team? They've looked tough and very good on their road to the national championship.
Yeah, they have looked tough, physical football team, but all you got to do is say they're not tough or physical, and Ryan Day will start pouting, and that'll just kind of trickle down to the rest of the team. It's kind of what happened last year, if you remember correctly. I will be at the game. I said be at the game, God willing, if my leg feels better. Because my left leg right now is fucking killing me. This is what Lou Holtz said. He said if his leg is feeling better, God willing, he will be down in Atlanta on the field at the football game. But, I mean, if Ryan Day wants to reignite this, we can reignite this.
We have proof that Ryan Day and Lou Holtz have spoke since. There it is right there.
Boom. Boom.
That is live in Columbus, Ohio, post the Lou Holtz Notre Dame Ryan Day situation. So I don't know if Coach Day just forgot about this in a moment or he's so jacked up. That's clearly Lou Holtz and Ryan Day talking right there.
I mean, he still hates my guts. That's fine. Because guess what?
What?
I can find a little hate in my heart, too.
No way. That's not your thing.
Well, yeah, no, I'd put this to rest. I'm a God-fearing man, obviously. I wouldn't do something like that. But, hey, you're going to bump your gums, to an 88-year-old man who's got a fucking bum leg, who's going to have to sit through a long flight to get down to Atlanta, and his leg's probably going to swell up a little bit and hurt a little bit when he gets in the game. If you want to do that, Coach Holtz don't need any of that ever. Because Coach Holtz is a fucking baboon. He showers, he does that kind of stuff. He doesn't need that gimmick spray. But no, listen, if Ryan Day wants to reignite this whole thing, we can reignite it, okay? Because Coach Holtz always got a matchbook on him. Always got a matchbook.
What's that?
A matchbook?
Yeah.
Just in case I got a little Bible verse in it, just whichever one I'm feeling that day. Got a whole bunch of matchbooks from different restaurants and hotels I've been to around the United States. Kind of one of my things. I just like, hey, I'll grab a matchbook, and why not? Why not?
Thanks, Coach. All right. Coach, you didn't motivate Tone to make that throw. You actually gave him the worst advice I think I've ever heard. I don't know if that's good news for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football.
Well, there's something to be said about, being a leader, yourself. Sometimes you're going to get advice from somebody and you got to say, is that the best advice I need right now, or should I maybe consider doing something else? What do I have within me that's going to allow me to complete this task or challenge? Not everybody knows every single time. Sometimes someone's going to try to throw you off your game, feed you a little bullshit, and you got to know, hey, I don't need to throw this football as hard as I fucking can off the backboard. Maybe I put a little arc on this thing and try to bank it in like I've been doing every other time. But I appreciate the Toad. Toad's a loyal soldier. He's a loyal soldier now. He will. He'll listen to what you say, and he will follow commands.
I will question nothing.
What's your next sage advice there for Tone as he attempts to win 30 people $500, Coach?
Well, I was going to say, if Bill's still out there, I would want Tone to just rifle that thing right at Bill, because I think that picture of Bill taking the picture as the football is coming into the lens of his camera, I think that'd be pretty neat. Now, it might break his camera, which we don't love, but Tony, feel it, okay? Play like a fucking champion today. How about that?
What does that mean, Coach?
It means enough of this woe is me, wishy-washy, oh, my arm hurts, I can't do this, I'm not any good at this, I'd rather putt. Nonsense, son. Put it in the fucking hoop, please.
Play like a champion, win 30 people.
Very damn close. Listen, some guys just so got it. Okay? Some guys, you do everything you can to get them to that point. Some guys just don't got it, and that's okay. That's okay.
That is okay.
Because we're still all children of God at the end of the day.
God bless you, Coach.
God bless you.
God bless you.
May the Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Like. Don't ever forget it, H. Don't ever forget it.
I need to grab some next time I'm there.
We'll send you some.
Thank you. I use it. I love that stuff. Smells good, man. Sandalwood.
No.
I don't think that's
Cedar.
Oh, cedar.
Cedar and sandalwood.
No.
They go hand in hand.
In cedar.
They do go hand
What about vitamin E, though? We got vitamin E.
Yeah, with vitamin E.
I can smell that. Yeah, I can smell the vitamin E.
And it's aluminium free. There ain't no
BS.
Important.
Man, that smells so much better than the shit that somebody smells like that you work with. Put the cap on, buy this thing, gift this thing. It's like, hey, you want some gum? You ever do that one?
All the time.
If anybody's saying that to you, that means one thing and one thing alone. You need to know. Your mouth is fucking obnoxious right now. Everybody hates the way your mouth smells. Anybody want you this gum? Ain't that move right there. That's a fucking figure it out. Same thing with this one. Gets dropped on the doorstep. You see me like this? That means you fucking stank, dude. Figure it out.
Here to help, though.
You got a friend in Dove. The whole body, DO. Don't fret. You're not the only one who smells like shit.
A lot of people smell like shite.
But you're going to be the one that no longer smells like shit. And that's growth.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. So much in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Ton.
Unbelievable.
I was going to try.
Can't get to the bottom.
The whole thing.
No.
Pretty good spray too. You know, whenever it's
Yep.
That's strong.
Good stream, yeah.
It is a good stream, powerful stream.
Prostate's good on it.
Pissed in a public restroom last night, middle show. Always got to bring the powerful stream in those ones.
Yeah.
People are documenting, thinking, listening, hearing. What's that, D-Boy?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Need to think about that. That's somebody's story. They're telling. Pissed next to McAfee last night. Weak.
Yeah, what did he say? Dribbling out like an old man. Like, what if someone did that?
Don't need that one being said about me. Okay. Always try to get a nice spot on the ball. Boy, and then we're heading to the side. And we're heading to the side. Heading to the side of the toilet. All right, let's get out of here. It was a good day today.
Good day.
Tone, I'm happy. That one felt really good coming out. I was going to do that one for you. But you know what?
That would have embarrassed me.
That would have been.
I was going to do it for you. It was an ode to you. It was an ode to you.
Oh, gee, these are looking good.
Yeah, I just think the top's on.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh! Cook it off. Take it off.
What a shot.
That felt pretty good.
See, the issue was I was throwing an American football.
Yeah, it's an international show.
Yeah.
We'll continue to be one tomorrow. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. You guys are the greatest people on earth. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Like our friends at Dude Wipes and Dove and Ram Trucks and DoorDash and Pizza Hut. Whoa. Got a lot of good people around here.
Hell yeah.
Including you guys. Thank you all so much. All right, let's have a good one tomorrow. We'll see you then. Team on me. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.